Yeah, so I still owe you the points, but we're gonna do that on Monday. Since the points were for the Fire Emblem stuff, makes sense to give them out on a day where we're doing Fire Emblem, yeah? I think so, anyway. But anyway, how are you all doing today? Have you had a good hump day? A good webnib day?
Hey guys, did you know that in terms of human companionship,
It's been a while.
Flareon is objectively the most huggable Pokemon? While their maximum temperature is likely too much for most, they are capable of controlling it, so they can set themselves to the perfect temperature for you. Along with that, they have a lot of fluff, making them undeniably incredibly soft to touch. But that's not all, they have a very respectable special defense stat of 110, which means that they are likely very calm and resistant to emotional damage because of this. If you have a bad day, you can vent to it while hugging it, and it won't mind. It can make itself even more endearing with moves like Charm and Baby Doll Eyes, ensuring that you never have a prolonged bout of depression
longer than I thought it was.
Again. Thank you, Flareon.
Thank you, Flareon. Also, hi, Vanny. Howdy. Glad you could stop by for this Katawa Wednesday. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So we have more Shizune today. I'm excited. Very excited. I love this game. I missed it for a while, you know, when I wasn't doing it. I think it was at least a month or two that it was we just didn't play. I missed it. This game's fun. Anyway, let's go date some disabled girls and score some channel points while we're at it. How does that sound, folks? All right, time to figure out which this is the most recent save. Let's do this thing. What's the music called? I think. Shoot, I don't know. But I do know I did do this earlier. So if you go to YouTube and you just look up Katawa Shoujo OST, you'll get an entire list of all the songs used, and this one's probably going to be the first one that shows up. Not gonna lie, I've only started playing Katawa Shoujo because of the streams. It's really nice. Nice. Glad you enjoyed it enough to try it out yourself. What girl did you start with? I'm not spoiling anything for you, am I? Not that I think it really could be. We're still really early on in the Shizune's route. Alright. The next morning, I recall what a perfect night last night was. So much so that I can't stop thinking about it. It's probably not the most appropriate time to reminisce since I have a test first period. It's so unfair. How can they do this? They hold a festival that is the culmination of what has to be at least a few weeks worth of work on a Sunday, then follow up with exams starting the very next morning, the bastards. It's gotta be some kind of sick joke. Is this some kind of twisted joke? I'm not too worried about it though, but I wonder if they really couldn't have held off on this for at least another week. Well, at least the weather this morning is nice enough that I can study outside before class. You've done everything you wanted to, Rin and Shizune's route. Nice. Worse, it's just how exams are, Lamau. It's a lot more refreshing out here than it would be in the classroom. Not to mention, with how quiet it is, I'm starting to think that everyone else will be sleeping in pretty late today. I put down the notes I'm reviewing for a second and stare out at the school grounds, still littered with festival stalls. Looking at them now in the daytime, without paper lanterns or crowds of people to draw my attention away from them, I notice something peculiar. A lot of the stalls that Shizune, Misha, and I visited last night also happen to be ones that we worked on. That's cute. Did Shizune come up with this? It had to be intentional, especially knowing her. Did she hope that I would catch on and see the fruit of our labors? I hear footsteps crunching the grass behind me and turn around. I feel slightly paranoid, but all I find is Shizune standing there with an innocuous look on her face. Good morning. Why do I keep forgetting that she can't hear me? It's probably because I've gotten so used to Misha translating for both of us that I haven't actually run into many situations where I was forced to acknowledge Shizune's deafness and the problems that could stem from it. I think yesterday was the first. I give her a wave anyway. I can do at least this much. But I'm not even going to pretend for a minute that I could hold up a conversation with her, considering my ignorance of sign language. Would it be rude to just go back to my notes? I don't really know what else I could do. Where's Misha? Not just because I can't understand you. You two are always together anyway, so I'm just not used to seeing you apart. Save Rodine 1400. Those are turned off today. You can't do saves outside of... You gotta do it. We are scheduled for KMU Mondays, okay? You gotta save that for Monday. I know it's silly, but for some reason talking to her makes me feel less awkward. Surprisingly, she doesn't get mad at all. She starts signing, but it's different than usual. Shizune's hands move more slowly, and the gestures are simpler. I quickly realize that this isn't sign language at all, but she's still attempting to communicate with me. So this is the sign language equivalent of breaking it down in layman's terms. I'm terrified that if I attempt to gesticulate back, I just look like a total dumbass. The look on Shizune's face tells me that she is starting to think that trying to have any kind of back and forth like this is not exactly the best way to accomplish things. You got morning shifts next week? Darn. Well, I mean, if you're just gonna be saving Rodine, I think you could save your points for another week because nobody's touching him. Nobody's touching Rodine in a while. Pat, she's an A5000, hell yeah. By the way, I'm always thinking of more things to do with points and similar stuff, so if you ever have any suggestions, you feel free to let me know. If it's good, I might just figure out if I can do it. There has to be a better way to communicate with her. Writing on a pad? Well, I do have paper and a pencil. What else, though? Cell phones? I don't really have much use for mine here, so I barely carry it around, and I don't know if Shizune even has one. Don't know, should give points. I see what you're saying. But we're gonna pass on it for now. Right now, at least, your donos already get you KMU points, so you got that at least. It's just that I'd have to do it manually for every single one, which, I mean, I don't get a lot of super chats anyway, so it's not like it would be a big deal, but I don't know. We'll see. I might be able to program it somehow. The tricky part is translating currencies. That's the hard part. You are just scared of me and my points. You had a whole bunch of them saved, and then, well, you lost them. I don't know what to tell you. I'll be here to collect points. Well, that's okay. Remember, though, you do need to chat periodically to continue to gain points. I wish I could. Like I've said before, and like a million times before, and I will continue to say, I wish you could. I wish you could lurk and still get points, but that's just not how the YouTube API works. I have to be able to constantly see who's in chat in order to give them points every few minutes or so. But the way YouTube works, you can't see somebody who's in chat if they're not chatting. So you just have to send a message periodically. Yeah. Sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, well. Anyway, let's get back to cell phones. Cell phones? I don't really have much use for mine here, so I barely carry it around. And I don't know if Shizune even has one. You can always try to see. She takes the initiative, holding up a finger to ask for a pause before pulling out a pad and pen from her bag and writing a single word on it. Fuck. I can send a message, leave to go do something for 3 minutes, and come back to send a message again. Yeah, you could do that. All I'll say is try not to be spammy with it, but you know, skibidi. Hello. I stare blankly at her and receive a similar, but somehow more intimidating stare in response. She nudges the pad in my direction forcefully, clearly wanting me to reply. Good morning. Shizune beams with a disproportionate amount of happiness. She starts twirling her pen triumphantly as she thinks about where to go from here. Oh, come on, it's not like we just invented fire! Shizune pushes up her glasses curtly, as if she heard me, and then starts writing at a furious pace. Use the notepad. Right. I'm confused. Am I supposed to take it away from her and write okay now? Fucking do it, bro. Just send one bit of the Flareon speech every 3 minutes. There you go. This is about the furthest thing I could imagine from a smooth, flowing conversation. It makes me envy the ease with which Misha is able to communicate with Shizune. Are you studying for the test? I'm pretty sure I can get away with answering simple yes or no questions like this with nods.
Right, WRTE right.
I like the typo one actually. It's kind of funny. You are here very early. Most people sleep in late after the festival. That means you are abnormal. Thanks, Shizune. Is that so? You're here too. Before handing that response back to her, though, I remember what I noticed earlier and add. Yesterday was fun. I noticed today that I built a lot of the stalls we went to. Maybe that's why they were so familiar. Was this another game? This is a big piece of paper. She did say notepad, so they're probably just flipping through pages on a notepad. She shakes her head from side to side indignantly. No tricks. I thought that because you had made those stalls, they were the most important ones. We had to visit them because everyone should be able to appreciate the fruits of their labors. He called it. I wanted you to be able to see and enjoy what you had done. Yep. Oh, damn. We got him. It's just a bouncy paper towel roll. I'm sort of touched. Still, I have to wonder why she would go so out of her way, and I ask as much in my response. Because you were depressed. Oof. She thinks we're depressed? I mean, he is actually. He is really, he is depressed. I want to say that I was depressed for days, but stop. It's true. I was moping quite a bit, and not being too subtle about it half the time either. So it's possible that she knew. Was everything she did just to cheer me up then? Thanks. I mumble it before I can catch myself, but Shizune doesn't seem to care. I write it down instead, and she nods once, as if unused to it. The silence between us grows more vast with each passing second, and there's nothing I can do to break it. Having to write everything down on paper kinda destroys any hope of trying to be casual. Good luck on the exam. It's the toy magnetic board where you can type draw and then clear it up by demagnetizing it. You mean like the shake ones? Air horn sound effects. I don't have air horns, but I can do it. This is the next best thing. That's good, right? Shizune pushes the pad right in front of my eyes, breaking my concentration. Taking the initiative again, as always. As she walks into the school building, I can't help feeling... As she walks into the school building, I can't help feeling a little sad. That felt like the longest 20 minutes of my life, and all because it's so alien to me to have a face-to-face conversation with someone by passing notes to each other that I can't help coming up blank most of the time. It makes me want to learn sign language. That's easier said than done. Although, in a school like Yamaku, they might very well have sign language class. In that case, there would be little reason not to pursue this. The only person I can think to ask, at the moment, is Misha. How badly do I want to know this? Well, there's two options. Wait until after class, or go look for her now. I guess I'll go now, but I'm not certain where she is. My best bet would be to start searching for her in the girls' dorm. After all, if she wasn't with Shizune, that's probably the only place she would be. Yeah, just walk in there on your own, buddy. It'll be fine. Oh yeah. A guy casually prowling around the girls' dorm early in the morning is unacceptable. But asking Misha about sign language classes in front of Shizune would be just unthinkable. Why? Why not? Oh, because you'd be embarrassed, gotcha. She has to come to school sometime, after all. We're in the same class, so she too has to take this test. If I wait here, I'll be sure to see her sooner or later. It's not like she can hear you. Yeah, but he's worried. He's worried that Misha will tease him about it and tell Shizune. That's what he's worried about. He doesn't want to get embarrassed. She can smell his fear. You smell disgusting. I just hope she doesn't walk past me while I'm flipping through my notes. It turns out to be a pretty long wait. As students file into the school, I wonder if Misha's going to be late. Eventually, I catch sight of her. While she bounces around the grounds, it hits me that I'd have to be blind to miss her with her incredibly distinctive hair. Hi, Ichan. Good morning. Hi, Misha. Morning. I don't have a lot of time left before class starts, so I cut directly to the chase. Hey, can I ask you a question? A question, Okay, Ichan. Sure. I have time, but only because I'm late. What is that? I should have woken up earlier, but I was so tired. If I had, I would have to study, but since I didn't, it won't hurt. What is it, Ichan? Well, are there sign language classes here, right? Yep, they're electives. Why do you want to know, Ichan? For some reason, that question briefly makes me panic. No reason. It sounds interesting, but I guess it's too late to sign up now, right? I'm not exactly being too subtle here, but Misha never seems to pick up on things like that anyway. I feel like you're doing Misha a little bit of a disservice. She's not that stupid. Anyway, so I'm probably being more cautious than is necessary. Well, Ichan, I've heard there are fewer and fewer students taking sign language every year. So, if you want to, I'm sure they will let you in. Are you thinking of learning sign language, Ichan? Why the else would he? Never mind. Maybe I'm giving Misha too much credit. This seems like a really obvious answer. Yeah, no shit. If you learn sign language, Ichan, that would make Ichan really happy. If you want, we can go to the teacher's office after school. They'll probably let you in. That would be great. Don't tell Shizune that I want to learn it, though. Why not? Yeah, Misha's actually right about this one. It's not that big a deal. So it can be a surprise. Besides, it'll look bad if you tell it this morning, and then I find out in the afternoon that I can't take the class. Okay, that's reasonable. No, Misha, I'm going to do sign language classes to learn how to do gang signs. SMH. I like that one. Aw, you're right, Ichan. Still, this will be hard. It's such good news. I'm in the student council, so I might as well try learning it. Even if it's just the basics. It'd be a step up from nothing. Besides, Shizune and I can't keep relaying everything through you as if you're a phone or something, right? It took her a moment. You're right, Ichan. The bell rings to signal the start of the first period, cutting our conversation short. I guess I'll just ask a teacher after classes are through. Her reaction was a little strange, but I forget about it as the day goes on. Water. The bell rings, and the teacher at the front of the room gestures that classes are over for the day. Although getting into this class was surprisingly easy, it's only been a few days, and I'm still not used to the experience. The actual signing is easier to pick up than I expected, but most of my classmates are hard of hearing. On top of that, the teacher favors immersion. I haven't heard her speak since I asked if I could take the class. It's an alien concept, and really unnerving. And the moment I step out of the classroom, I hear a familiar laugh explode through the air a short distance to my left. Hi, Misha! Hi, Ichan. Misha's not in my sign language class, so this is the first time I've seen her in this context. I still don't know whether her not being in my class is good or bad. It would be more interesting with her in it, but the potential for awkward situations would increase drastically. Hi. It's a surprise to see you here, Hee-chan. Ah, that's right. You're taking sign language, aren't you? Right? What do you think of it so far, Hee-chan? It's not easy to learn a new language, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Despite how different it is from other languages, it's still easier than English. That's right, Hisao is very bad at English. Haha, really, Hee-chan? I agree. I was just joking, but apparently she's totally serious. I wonder how Misha can effortlessly translate things to me while simultaneously having a conversation with Shizune in a different language like she does. Until now, I've taken for granted how amazing it is. Someone bumps into my shoulder and apologizes. It's getting kind of crowded here. What with it being the end of the day and all. I think we should talk somewhere else instead of the hallway. Let's go to the roof or something. Okay. I decide to continue talking on the way. It's surprisingly quiet enough to carry on a conversation while doing so. It's still taking me some time to get used to having to look at the teacher constantly. I guess I took all those years of simply listening to the lectures while I doodled for granted. It makes taking notes a lot more difficult, too. The introductory class is small, and I'm already behind. I guess I have a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, this is much better. I turn around to look back at Misha and see her staring at me with her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed outwards. Hee-chan, you're behind? That's not good at all. Misha, give me a break. I just started, and we're already, it's like a few weeks into the semester at least. Give me a break. I started the class a week later than everyone else. It's not that bad. Okay, Hee-chan, let's review what you learned then. I'll tutor you, okay? Hee-chan is right behind me, isn't he? This is the first time I've heard "I'll tutor you" used outside of dirty movies. I'm not nearly as turned on as I'd have expected, but I was not expecting that. I'm not expecting you to say that, buddy. I don't know if I need a tutor yet. Sal, what? Huh? Right? Oh. She looks more disappointed than usual. Makes me feel awkward to see her making that kind of face. I want to be a sign language teacher, Hee-chan. But it would be really great if I could try tutoring someone in it first. Even if it's for a little while. The experience would be valuable. Ah, well, yeah, that's true. I didn't know you wanted to be a sign language teacher. It's hard to believe that she isn't intentionally trying to make me feel guilty, because she's very good at it. Still, it makes sense. She's very good at sign language already from what I've seen, and certainly has the voice for dealing with the hearing impaired. I never saw her as the teaching type, though. It's the reason why I wanted to go to this school, Hee-chan. Oh. It's also really expensive to attend here, you know. Because I want to be a sign language teacher, I have reduced tuition fees. If it wasn't for that, I don't know if I'd be able to keep going here. I see. That's not that I think you would be bad at tutoring, it's just that I don't know if I need it just yet. You're right, Hee-chan, you're
Lesson
smart.
1 Hicken. 99 bottles of pop on the wall. 99 bottles of pop. You take one down, pass it around. 99 bottles of pop on the wall.
Well, no, I'm not that smart. That just makes me sound arrogant. Alright then, please tutor me. Really? Okay. Yay! Thanks, Hee-chan. I'll do my best. Let's start right now. Too soon. She's so sad! I miss Hee-chan. Didn't you just see her this morning? But it's hard to talk to her in class, Hee-chan. There's no student council today either. Well, there have been exams all week. I'd be kind of mad if there was still student council. I'll be glad when they're over. When it's back, you're not going to skip out, right, Hee-chan? No, of course. I'm in it, after all. Don't worry, I'm not going to just suddenly stop showing up. A promise is a promise. Misha pauses for a second, not looking very convinced. Hee-chan takes the student council very seriously, Hee-chan. Now that you've joined, she works harder than before since she wants to make a good impression. Some other people joined at first, but they stopped coming soon after. Shichan tried to get more people interested in the student council, but wasn't successful. Even when someone would join, they'd stop coming eventually. They'd make excuses and just put it off more and more until they stopped coming altogether. However, I believe that you really mean it, Hichan. My eyes stay focused on her hands, tilting and moving almost of their own free will, softly signing everything she is saying to herself as she speaks. When you said you would join, she was really happy. Shichan thinks you're interesting, Hichan. An uninteresting person won't have the drive needed to join. Even if they do, a person that isn't interesting will quit soon after. That's what Shichan said. So, it's my duty to make sure you keep going. Is that why you want to tutor me? You're kinda sneaky. Really, Hichan? That's the first time anyone has said that about me. Ha 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 ha. There's no chance that I would avoid student council work now. Thinking back over the past few days, I've started to realize that the only reason I joined in the first place was because of Shizune. Her competitiveness and force of will are alluring. I can't tell Misha that, though. Okay, Hichan, let's review what you learned in class today. You don't even know what I learned in class today. You're right, Hichan. Okay, let's start with the basics then. I'll just teach you everything from the beginning. You're kidding, right? Huh? You're serious? That's like days of lessons, and we're not even learning on the same level. It's like riding a bike, Hichan. You never forget the basics. Wahaha. I don't know how to ride a bike. Oh no. Right. I'm gonna be a teacher one day, so of course I know what I'm doing. Okay. We're starting. She looks like she's trying very hard, so this could be bad. Well, learning language is vastly different from teaching it. And the first step is usually the hardest part. Honestly, I couldn't do any better. In the beginning, once was nothing, and then there was a big explosion. Still. Sign language was formally introduced in the 18th century by a Frenchman named, whose name I can't pronounce, and he started the first public school for the deaf in 1755, but the unwritten history of sign language is said to... I don't really know where to start. Sorry. Well, what better place to start than the history of sign language, right? Right? Sao's first lesson from her should be how to do the Flareon speech in sign language. Dude, that'd be sick. No, wait, maybe the alphabet. Okay. The alphabet it is then. Okay, Hichan, this is pretty basic stuff, although some people think that this is all of signing, and forget there are kinds of specific gestures and words. Although you can't really get anywhere else without the basics. This is A. Do you see it? Now you try. Actually, no, I don't. I already know this, though. I humor her anyway. Yeah, that's it. Now, this is B, and this is C. Here's a simple shortcut to sign language. BAM! Shows him the middle finger. Misha makes one symbol with each hand, without specifying which is which. And now, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, this is bad. Do you think Shizune wants to do some student council work today anyway? We could go. Of course not, Hichan. Come on, I'll do it again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Your turn. So there's really no student council work that needs doing, or anything like that? What are you talking about, Hichan? Come on, sign. Like this? No, like this. Like... this. Uh-huh. I wish Hichan were here. This would be so much easier with her. That's how sign language is taught most of the time anyway. With 2 instructors. Did you know that, Hichan? No. I let my brain run through what this would be like if Shizune were here. Hichan, are you paying attention? Yeah. Shichan says that sign language is different from any other, because you have to think about everything before you say it. I mean... Sorta? I mean, do you not... Okay, no. Misha doesn't think before she says anything. That's a good point. That means every word has more weight, Ichan. Every single one is more important than normal. So, pay attention, please. She continues her basic rundown of the basics of sign language. Eventually, she starts talking about stuff I start to recognize. In the end, I'm impressed. It took a bit of stumbling to get there, but as a teacher, she's pretty good when she's serious. After a while, I start to notice that it's getting late. So I thank Misha, bid her goodbye, and go back to my dorm. I learned a lot today. I love that little jingle. I'm jolted awake by a thunderous banging sound coming from my door. My first thought is, it could be Shizune. After all, only a deaf person or a jackass would knock that loudly at this hour. Well, I think we answered I think we know. Who is it? Of course, if it's Shizune, she wouldn't be able to hear that or answer it. There's no reply, so I'm kind of pleased. I haven't seen Shizune in a while. Opening the door, I find Kenji standing out in the hall, his eyes nervously darting from side to side. Oh, it's you.
Yeah, it's me. What kind of reaction is that?
Well, I'd be able to give you a more personalized response if you had answered when I asked who it was. Kenji frowns and pushes up his glasses exactly like Shizune.
Why are you making that weird face?
I wonder how he's able to see me making a face now. It wasn't able to the millions of other times I've reacted to something weird he has said or done. I kinda wanna pursue this, but I'm too tired to actually do it. Shizune pushes up her glasses just like that, you know. A student council president. It's just a little weird.
What the hell? What do you mean there's this girl who does the same thing? You mean she touches her glasses? I do that. That's my thing. Who is this bitch? Why are bitches all up in my business, stealing what I do?
His character flips from anger to fear in the blink of an eye.
Is she trying to replace me? Pod people? No, wait, that's an exact copy. Pod women? It's like my two greatest fears combined. It is!
I can't believe he has a point.
Hey, you going into town today?
Maybe later?
Okay, awesome. I have some stuff I want you to pick up for me at the post office. Some delicate and secret stuff.
He speaks in a whisper, as if talking about his mail, and even a normal tone of voice will jeopardize it. You can have your mail sent directly here, you know.
No, you can't. You can have your mail sent to the school, and then the student council picks it up, and then they give it to you. That's not the same as the mail appearing in your hands. I don't trust the student council. Many dudes don't get their mail here, you know.
Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
They probably steal it all. They think that just because it's sent to them, they have a license to steal. I can just see them now, envelope deep in mail, fast grabbing all the free swag they can get a hold on. It's sickening.
Where can I find this mailman who can conjure mail out of thin air and into your hands?
I don't know. I bet the student council killed him to preserve their monopoly on all the students' shit.
It doesn't work that way. Oh, wrong voice. Is that what you wanted, though? Fine, I can pick up your mail for you, but eventually I'm gonna collect on all these favors. You already owe me some money.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll pay you back after I get my package. Yeah, my bad. I can't really pay you until then. I'm still broke.
Then I'm basically doing it for money, like a job. Why do you need the package first? Is there money in the package?
Nah.
I am seriously dumbfounded. Why can't you get it?
Because I'm going to remodel my room today into a war room. As the days go by, I realize more and more how dangerous feminism is. It really is everywhere, even in places like Iran. You can't tell how far up it really goes. When the war begins, if we haven't transcended the concept of nations to fight for our genders, it will be chaos. No one will know who will take what side. And the war against feminism wouldn't just mean World War III, but the end of all life on Earth as we know it. If we lose, all our supple Japanese women will be YouTube and enslaved by a bunch of sociopathic lesbian supremacists. Meanwhile, the handful of men that didn't die in the war will be castrated and forced to repair toilets and build massive monuments commemorating the feminist victory.
That's crazy. You're crazy. I think you're overthinking this.
As the days go by, I realize more and more that you are not ballin'.
We've only talked like 4 times.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, whatever. I'll get your package.
Awesome.
That was the best Kenji conversation yet. Oh my god. Sal, you can't ball for your life. Get off this court, Kenji, before tripping on the ball somehow. I close the door and jump right back into bed. The second my head hits the pillow, a painfully loud ringing assaults my ears, and I realize it's my clock. The alarm going off means that right now is the time I'm supposed to wake up in the first place. On weekdays, at least. I pick it up and throw it without looking up. It gets wedged between the bed and the wall. The noise not stopping. In fact, it seems to grow louder. By the time I'm able to pry it out of there, I know I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. The only thing I can think of doing now is going into town and just getting Kenji's stupid package. But it's too early for that. After showering, I take my medication. I'm actually very hungry today since I went without dinner yesterday, and before that, I'd had just a very light lunch. I eat the pills, chomping on them like a Lego lamb. They are unbelievably bitter and disgusting. Well, good medicine tastes bad, or something like that. I'm still hungry, and there's still a lot of time to kill, so I decided to go into town and find somewhere to have breakfast. I can't remember the last time I ate out. Besides, the weather is nice, so why not? The walk into town is longer than I remember, possibly because it's been a while, and probably because I rarely come here alone. There are barely any cars on the road because it's so early in the morning, making it unusually quiet. The first thing I do is start looking for a place to eat. Immediately, I think of the Shanghai, but I want something more substantial than sandwiches or a cake. Since it's so early, though, I decide to go grab Kenji's package first. Picking it up at the post office doesn't take very long, but the moment I see it, I'm enraged about what a pain in the ass it will be to carry this thing all the way back to school. The box is huge. You need 2 hands to hold it. Insultingly, it's not even very heavy. I was thinking of wandering around for a little while, but with this thing in tow, that's going to be a real problem. Well, I guess the Shanghai is my only option now. Everything else is closed, and the ones that aren't all have about the same menu. That fact also makes me want to throw some more business Yuko's way. I had a brain fart reading that for a second. Before I can even open the door and enter, someone taps me on the shoulder from behind. I turn around and see Shizune there. Instinctively, I look for Misha, but she doesn't seem to be here. Good morning. Looks like those sign language classes are already starting to pay off. I'm tempted to sign it right back, but then she might think I know a lot more than I actually do. As a vampire, you have to be let in to get inside, so once Kenji sees you have his package, he has to let you in. Let you in... Where? Where are you going with this? I'm scared. For now, I just give her a wave and open the door. She's probably here for her morning tea and didn't come just to see me. Turns out I'm right, as Shizune follows me inside the tea house. It's a total ghost town in here. It's not exactly peak hours, but every other cafe I passed had at least a few customers. Actually, the Shanghai has been fairly empty every time I pass by. How does this place stay in business? The last thing I'd want to do is get into Kenji's room. I don't know. Kenji's... When the war... when the feminist war happens, it'll be the safest place to be. I gotta drink some water after that. My My throat hurts after doing the Kenji voice for a while. Ugh. Hello, thank you for choosing to patronize our establishment. Bonk. Yuko bows with the force of a falling axe, and her head collides with a box in my hands, launching it towards the floor. Ah! The feminists launched their first attack! Oh no! I'm sorry! I'm really sorry! So sorry! Please forgive me! When the war does happen, the easiest way around the conflict and eventual loss is cross-dressing. Though don't tell that to Kenji. We don't need to see that. I want to see femboy Kenji now. It's okay, and you don't have to do that. Hello, thanks for choosing our shop thing, since we know you. But it's part of my job. You're here early. What can I get you? I just want some coffee for now. I wonder what Shizune wants. Without Misha, there's no real way to tell. Or any way to even ask. I haven't learned about that yet. She's here, so I'm pretty sure that means she wants something too. I don't really know what Shizune wants. Does she have a usual? Wait, she might want something else though. Perhaps you should bring us a menu just in case? I look around for one, but can't find anything that looks remotely like a menu. Menus? I'll look for one right now. Huh? There are menus. They're just rare. It's only a restaurant menu, not a collector's edition. Weird. Is that what Shizune is saying? Nah, she can't hear you. It's just weird for a cafe to make you have to go out of your way to look for a menu. Weird? Yes, you're right. It's so illogical. There's so many things. Like, why is it called the Shanghai? This is a Western-style tea house, but the name is Chinese, and the architecture is old-fashioned, but my uniform is so modern and sophisticated. She looks like she's about to pass out. If she does, she'll probably fall forward and make a mess of everything. I can't work here anymore. What a bad place for her circular train of logic to end up. Oh, no. Come on. That kind of stuff is what sets this place apart. There are a lot of cafes around here, you know. I think it's charming, really. Please don't quit. Business is good here. Isn't it? Not really. See, I think this is a good job for you. It suits you. You shouldn't quit. I've never had to defuse this kind of crisis before. Eventually, I managed to calm her down and convince her that I'm sure Shizune just wants what she usually orders here. Yuko walks away to get our drinks, and by then, Shizune has already picked a table. There are no other customers, and Yuko isn't the most talkative person, so it's very quiet. It doesn't really bother me, but I wish there was some way we could communicate. There are so few moments when we're alone. Shizune and Misha are almost always together, to the point where sometimes it seems like they're one. Now, it's just me and her. And I'm unable to understand her, or have her understand me. Ugh, it's terrible. You don't have your little notepad today? I know it's the weekend and all, but it's not like you to be unprepared. Well, that's fine. I don't really like using it anyway. Still, it would come in handy now. Shizune starts signing in short bursts, punctuated by her stopping to take a sip of tea. It's strange how she doesn't make the slightest attempt to change how she normally acts. I'm talking to her for the most part because I'm not used to long silences. I briefly wonder if it's the same for her, in a way. However, it seems unlikely. I'm pretty sure she's used to long silences. I think it's more that she is the type who doesn't change how she acts for anyone. Hey, it seems like Misha joined the student council because of you. That makes two of us, you know. I'm only there because you forced me into it. Well, not really forced, I guess. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have joined. That sounds slightly romantic, and I find myself blushing a little. Ugh, I feel like such an idiot. Although, I still don't know why you joined. It should have been the first thing I asked in retrospect, but I'm really curious. I'll have to remember to ask Misha sometime. It's nice to talk to you, even if you don't understand me. I wonder if it's the same for you. That would be really great. I don't think sign language will ever be as natural for me as Misha makes it look, but it's gotta be a step up from using pen and paper, right? We've both been finished with our drinks for a while, and Shizune's eyes fall upon the box sitting in its own chair by my side. Oh, I'm just picking it up for someone. It's not mine. Shizune pulls it closer to her, intending to open it, and my heart almost leaps out of my throat. I quickly try to pull it back by wrapping my leg around the leg of the chair. What the hell? Don't open it! You can't just open other people's mail! That's not legal! No! Once she gets going, there is almost no stopping her. Eyes filled with excitement. She looks ready to fight me over this stupid package, and I just realized how fast this could turn into a game of tug of war. I am almost out of my seat now, and waving my arms like an air traffic controller before she finally settles down. Shizune pouts, not pleased with having her curiosity checked, and gets up to leave. It's about time to, I guess. We've been here a while. I protectively pick up the box before standing up myself. Suddenly, she tenses her fingers excitedly and pulls out a marker from her pocket and starts writing on Kenji's box. Hey, what are you doing? I said this isn't mine! Hey! I can't even see her with it blocking my vision. Fine, at least let me put it down first. I have to read whatever she's writing anyway. I'll help you carry it. It doesn't seem like she's finished though, and Shizune draws a fierce line afterward to signify that there's a catch. But it's a game. The first one to stumble loses, and the loser has to carry it the rest of the way by themselves. That's stupid. There's a 50% chance I'll end up carrying it myself anyway. Actually, I feel pretty stupid myself right now. I just forgot she can't hear me. I stop talking and shake my head. Oh no, I'm late. I was too busy playing OJ with friends. How dare you play a fun video game with your friends instead of hanging out with me, listening to me read a visual novel? Tisk tisk. Hi, Stern. I can't understand her at all, but she's coming across very forcefully. It's clear that she thinks this is a great idea. Well, if she drops the box or something, she'll have to carry it. That would make things a lot easier for me, obviously. I had to teach the way of the chicken. Ah, yes, I see. This is acceptable. The odds are 50-50. Then they're probably higher than they would be for any other plan of hers. Alright, I'll take it. Thinking about it, I'm not sure how we should do this. Then, Shizune grabs hold of one end of the box and lifts it up, and I take the side that she isn't holding. Is this even right? It's very uncomfortable to walk like this. We leave the cafe, and I find myself hoping that the streets are still devoid of people. Yuko seems confused as to what we're doing, and I imagine it'll only get worse as more people see us. Shizune doesn't seem bothered at all, while walking with her arm at this unnatural angle. She just grins confidently and periodically makes some kind of weird gesture. There are people staring at us as time passes, and the usual morning crowd begins to fill the streets. I feel silly, but I'm sure that if I give up, Shizune will take it as a sign of surrender. I can't allow that, because I think I'm doing well so far. Initially, I just write Shizune's little hand signals off as her preemptively gloating, but I catch on quickly that she's actually signaling where she wants to go. It dawns on me that this isn't a competition. It's not much of a challenge, first of all, and second, it's really more of an exercise in teamwork. Just that Shizune has made a punishment for failing instead of a reward for doing well. Our fingers touch onto the box, and Shizune moves her hand away, almost dropping her side of the box in the process. Well, that's game over for her. She doesn't look very happy. Does she think I did it on purpose to make her lose? If she does, she isn't making a big deal of it. All's fair in love and war. I feel like I should take it from her and carry it myself, but she pushes me away when I try. She glares at me as if to tell me off, but she can't. With that box in her hands, she is basically gagged. Don't get any ideas, chat! Don't get any ideas! If you hold Shizune's hands, would it be like kissing for her? Well, clearly, it would be like gagging her. A sad expression flickers across her face for a second, maybe on realizing that and having to acknowledge that there are some limitations she has to deal with after all. However, she is still as prideful as ever, even when it's to her detriment. She wouldn't accept letting me allow her to skip out on the consequences of her bet. Anything is fair during the game, but the results have to be honored to the letter, huh? Shizune is an interesting type of person. The march back to the dorms is uneventful. Shizune passes the trip by shifting the box around occasionally like a giant's Rubik's Cube. It looks like another game she's invited to amuse herself. Shizune, grab my hand! I'm gonna fall! No, we can't do that. That would be immoral. Hand-holding? That's, for me, that's like, dies. It can't be good for whatever's inside, but I don't care enough to stop her. Maybe this is how she deals with things, by making everything into a game. It's hard to say for sure, though. It seems futile to try to psychoanalyze Shizune. In the short time we've known each other, I've been surprised on a fair number of occasions. I noticed Shizune's shivering. The wind is picking up, and the school is pretty high up. It makes sense that she would be cold. If I gave her my jacket, though, would she reject it? Do it. I take off my jacket and drape it across her shoulders before she has a chance to protest. Her shoulders are slim and delicate, so much so that I want to let my hands linger on them. Shizune flinches when my fingers brush against her, understandably surprised. Kill Shizune 1,000. No, you can't do that. Sorry. Protect Shizune 2,000. Ooh, ooh. Her fingers dance lightly over the surface of the box, and I think of taking it from her, but I doubt she would let me. Shizune makes a quick gesture with her hands as best she can, pausing a bit afterwards, as if wanting to say more. I'm sure what she means is, thank you. I'm glad that I was able to catch it. Kill Orange 100. Oh! Shizune's life is in the palm of my hands. The sign language teacher says that I'm pretty good. I try not to think about it too much, but the truth is I'm poring over it so much lately that it's hard not to keep coming back to it at least a couple times a day. I guess I am picking it up faster than expected, but it's still not enough. I understand it just fine. Understanding is simple. Well, I have to put my mind to it to read it, but it's easy enough when I do. The signing itself is doable, I just need a little more practice. However, trying to do both at the same time, even at half the speed Misha does it, it's impossible. Where I'm at now is good for my level, but in order to reach a point where I'll be able to really converse with Shizune, I'll need more work. I'm doing my best to get to that point one step at a time by doing as much studying as I can squeeze in during lunch. I look up from Introduction to Japanese Sign Language to check if Shizune or Misha are around. I look away and people are killing the VN characters, truly Orange's sanest chat members. What have I done? Of course, since this is taking up my lunch hour, I've had to avoid them for a few days now. What's more, I'll have to continue doing so if I want to keep Shizune from finding out. Could have been worse, we could be at the handhold thing still. True. My back to the corner, scanning the area every 10 minutes, I feel like some kind of criminal trying to evade capture. I understand. I understand why you're doing this, buddy. I understand why you're making this all secretive. You have a crush. You don't want her to find out. You want to surprise her. I get that. But at the same time, you're kind of overthinking it, Hisao. It's not that serious. In fact, you'd probably make better progress if you worked with the two of them. And you just did, live practice with them every time you see them. You'd be making so much more progress right now. And you'd be getting closer to Shizune. But it's okay, Hisao. You're doing your best, buddy. Every chance she gets, Misha asks me why I want to hide the fact I'm learning sign language from Shizune. Whatever happened with the points you owed chat? I forgot. I forgot. I remembered it like the day after. I was like, shit. Forgot about that. But to make up for it, next Monday I'm gonna give out twice as many points during the KMU, which is gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible. All my units are gonna die. Pay your taxes, Ori. I actually do have to file taxes soon. Thanks for reminding me, you ass. No. It'll be okay. Taxes should be fine. As much as I want to get some money back from this, I think I'm just gonna have to file this as a hobby again for another year. 20k each? I can see it now. People speedrunning unit deaths. Oh, it's gonna be terrible. Anyway, I need to drink water and then we'll continue. Secretly an IRS agent surrender. What do you mean? I still have time. I don't even think you... Okay, I think you can... I think... Today might be the first day you can file for your taxes, but like... You can't get mad at me for not filing my taxes yet. Tax season just started. Give me a break. Looking back on it, there really wasn't any reason, but now I think I know. If I want Shizune to be able to treat me as a true equal, sign language is an important step towards that goal. Uh-huh. If I want to be able to treat Shizune as an equal, then sign language is an important step towards that goal. Uh-huh. Another important step is to make sure she doesn't know, so that when we're able to finally speak on equal terms, I'll be fully ready, able to do it right, not like some...
I may be crazy enough to take on the Batman, but the IRS? No thank you.
Imagine filing for taxes. This is brought to you by Taxavator Bros. Honestly, I get the feeling. I know that I know what you mean. It's always so weird. It's always weird being a law-abiding citizen and like struggling in life, you know? And then you look at people who break the laws and they're having like the greatest time in their life. It's like, what is this bullshit? I want to become a criminal and have things be easy. Also, hello, Trallin. Imagine not having to file taxes. Brought to you by someone who doesn't have to do that yet. Enjoy it while it lasts is all I'm gonna say. Alright, I'm gonna reread this because I just want to address what Hisao says here. Another important step is to make sure she doesn't know, so that when we're able to finally speak on equal terms, I'll be fully ready, able to do it right, not like some whatever the hell that word is. I've never seen that word before in my life. So Hisao, again, I think you're overthinking it. You've Hisao, your problem is right now dill pickle. Yeah, like not like some dill pickle. Your problem right now, Hisao, is you've put Shizune on a pedestal.
Hi, Traylon.
You've put Shizune on a pedestal, and it's really not that deep. It's not that complicated. She's just a girl. Oh, this is gonna bite you in the ass. Anything less, I think, would be insulting. She would see it the same way. No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. She would just be happy that you're interested in talking with her. She would be happy to hear that you're interested in being her friend. It's that simple. So to me, this is the only option, especially now that I've decided to be so resolute with it. She deserves the pedestal though, but yeah, he overdid it by a ton. Shizune has a huge aura. It's very easy to see her coming, or even to sense her coming, mostly because Misha's hair lights up any crowd she's in like a beacon. And you can hear her laughing from a mile away. Although, even if Misha weren't with her, it would be the same. Her directness and efficiency are core parts of her, so it's no surprise that they come across in the way she walks as well. Due to all these factors, I'm able to put all my things and put on my best casual face long before they see me and head my way. Hi! Student Council. Student Council. Student Council was the first thing I asked to learn. It seemed like it would come in handy. The fact that Misha signed that specifically tells me that Misha probably already told Shizune about it. Yeah, I've been dodging it for a while now, huh? Yep. Shizune sits down in front of me to my right, and Misha to my left. It was a mistake putting myself in the corner. Now I'm, well, cornered. In the end, I'm dragged off to the student council room, but I don't mind. I was starting to miss them a bit anyway. In some ways, this makes it easier. Satisfied with having caught me, Shizune doesn't ask me where I've been all this time. Once I stand before the door, I wonder what could be so important that they're so eager to pull me back in. Now I'm feeling a little trapped. Games. There are more games out than books. This, at last, explains why every time I come here there are stacks of books piled on every table, and occasionally parts of the floor. They need the room to put all these games somewhere. It's boring playing against each other so much. Hee-chan, so it's your turn, okay? Okay, it's settled then. I didn't even say anything! Hee-chan, this is one of the last days we'll be able to take it easy like this for a while. So, it's especially important that we make the most of it, don't you think? Hanabata will be coming up soon, and we'll have to put in a lot of work for that, too. So, for now, play with us. Come to think of it, it's true. I hadn't even noticed because I've been so wrapped up in wanting to learn sign language. Right on the heels of one festival, a bigger one appears. I wonder if Shizune will try and rope a couple new members in to help with that one as well. You're right. Haha, yay! Hee-chan agrees, let's celebrate. Do they want to play, so time for, I know, we should play a game. Let's play a game to celebrate, Hee-chan. I don't know, that kind of thing usually ends badly for me. Hee-chan is worried about the stakes. Misha makes a very disappointed face. It's hard to tell if she's mocking me, since her expressions are so exaggerated by default. She's an all-out kind of girl. I turn my head to Shizune. Now, this person, she is definitely mocking me. Hey, stop that. But yes, I'll play with you if you tell me what's at stake first. How very Japanese, putting the consequences above everything else. Hee-chan, have you ever heard of the expression, missing the forest for the trees? No. That's a lie, but I have my pride, which is currently feeling wounded. Okay, I'll play, but I want to pick the game. Misha nods. Additionally, I pick the punishment if you lose. Shizune makes an X with her arms. That either means denied, or that she's about to use her special attack. Aha! Now who's afraid of the consequences? How vengeful, still thinking so spitefully about a playful little joke. If a what? Oh, he doesn't understand the word, gotcha. If I bit you, you would probably bite back. Shizune used X scissors. It's not very effective, but it is kind of cute. Shizune sends a word that I don't quite catch. Hee-chan is so vengeful, even though it was just a playful little joke. If an armadillo bit you, you would probably bite back. Armadillo? It's foolish to bite an armadillo back, Hee-chan. But Hee-chan would do it anyway, you see. I see. Shizune adjusts her glasses with a small flourish of her hand. Hee-chan, we didn't have anything planned at all if you were to win or lose. You just assumed there would be something like that. Ah, I wonder why. Me too. But, oh well, there isn't. Does that change your mind, Hee-chan? Well, yes. Misha windmills her arms at high speed to show her joy. Weird habit. This is the kind of thing you could only see in the student council room, occupied only by 3 people. Anywhere else, she would end up socking someone in the face. She turns in the helicopter. Swat, 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 swat. Oops, I skipped that line. Yay, yay, let's get started. It's what she said, basically. Water break. There's a reason why I only do these once a week. They hurt my throat. Not just yet. Is that what the drills are for? Did they just start spinning if she gets really, really happy? Yes, definitely. Hydrate or dihydrate, hell yeah. Okay. However, we have to all be able to play. That's my condition. I don't like games where one person is clearly the ace player right off the bat, or games where only 2 people can play, so one of us has to sit back. It has to be something that the 3 of us can play equally. checkers? The instant she says it, Misha takes out a bag of checkers and places them on the table. Only 2 people can play that, I told you. Okay, Hichan. How about Monopoly? A Monopoly box slowly edges towards me, and I take it out of Misha's hands and put it under my chair. I don't like games that revolve around luck of the draw. They're too much about chance and not about skill. Also, stop jumping the gun with these games. Luck is a kind of skill, you know. No, it's not. It can be if you're consistently lucky, right? Hisao doesn't like to gamble, SMH. I know, very disappointed in you, Hisao. Once at that point, it's something else entirely. Baccarat, marbles, life, snakes and ladders, roulette, blackjack, paper football, trivial pursuit. Misha begins to excitedly name a bunch of games as if she were reading from a list. With each suggestion, a new box, board, and pieces appear around her. A bizarre catalog of games ranging from children's fare to serious, polished-looking gambling instruments that look very out of place in this humble room. 3-way chess. Is that even possible? Let's try. Yes, let's try it. Definitely. They pull a chessboard from behind them with a flourish, like 2 junior magicians. Well, magic does require some deft sleight of hand, and they've got that in spades. I'm not surprised. Nevertheless, it is still somehow unsettling. Stop doing that. Excuse me? A very timid voice manages to make me look up. 3-way chess, but you just have one side off the board called the Fire Nation. I lost my ID card, and someone told me I could find out where to get a new one. Here. If I'm interrupting something, I can come back later. Hi, Hanako! Hanako's eyes drift across the room, taking in the landscape of piled-up record books, haphazardly scattered chairs, and overturned board games. Invite her, and then we can do a 4-player. We can do 4-player chess, checkers. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Oh, it's Hanako. Hi. I guess this isn't exactly the image of an organized, tightly run student council like ours should be giving off. Hello. It's the only thing I can think of to break the ice. Unfortunately, it just seems to startle her further. My ID card. You're in our class, aren't you, right? Right? So don't be timid, okay? Come on. Yep, even though we're your seniors, it's not like we'll bite. We're not her seniors. We're in the same class. Still, I am grateful to them for stepping in. What is it you said you want? An ID card? Right? Yes. Her eyes slide away from Misha. Being shy, it's no wonder she's not the best at keeping eye contact. I follow where she's looking and notice her gaze stop on the chessboard on the table. Hanako's eyes widen just for a moment. Shizune notices as well. she lit right up. She's like, ooh, someone wants to play a game with me. Do you like chess? You like chess, don't you? Yeah, you do, definitely. Misha profiled her so fast. Do you want to play? Hesitation is defeat, Sekiro. She might make a break for it. I refuse to get involved in this. It won't end well. To my amazement, Hanako seems to be considering the idea very seriously. She touches the tips of her fingers together pensively, mulling the thought over. That level of consideration is more or less a confirmation. We're having our lunch break, so you'll have to wait anyway. Why not play with us in the meantime? Come on, it'll be fun, really fun. You like chess, don't you? I can tell. Really, it's obvious. So, please, will you? Okay. Wah, yay! Success. Okay. That's great. The chessboard is set up. The opening move is important. However, Shizune doesn't seem to care. Hanako ponders her moves carefully, sliding pieces forward just a little bit, then pulling them back in uncertainty, second-guessing herself over and over again. She's really into this game. You can't call her a casual player. definitely an enthusiast. Shizune can't take her lightly. No matter what she does, Hanako has an appropriate response. Yet, there's something wrong about the pacing of this game. Shizune moves too quickly. No, not even too quickly, but with illogical speed. It's like she isn't even thinking about what she'll do next. Either Shizune is in the realm of supercomputers, or she isn't taking this game very seriously. Or maybe Hanako just isn't very good. Shizune forces an exchange of pawns. Hanako's turn takes increasing amounts of time as the game goes on, and it hasn't even been going on that long. Suddenly, it all becomes clear. Shizune has a lot more time to think about her next move because Hanako takes forever to move a piece. Despite that, it's an interesting game. Black Knight to f6. Bishop to d3. Since they're both playing seriously, no one is toying with the other. There is no clearly dominant player, at least for now. Maybe this is helped by the fact that they aren't very close to each other from what I can see. Shizune is a mysterious opponent to Hanako, and Hanako is an enigma to Shizune. Hanako's furrowed brow shows that she is into the game. She wants to really win, and Shizune always wants to win. Their lack of familiarity is a little depressing, but it is giving life to the game and allowing them to see each other as good competition. Maybe they might even end up becoming friends over it, or at the very least, rivals in chess. In chess. It's an optimistic thought. Although, remembering playing Risk against Shizune, she doesn't just want to crush people for the fun of it. The game continues. Shizune plays 12 moves in 4 minutes. What a scary opponent. But Hanako holds her own, even though her king is being chased around the board a bit. Pawn to h6. White knight to e6. The end is near. The game ends. That was a really good game. Thanks. It was really close. I thought I would lose. You're very skilled. Magnanimous in victory and extending a hand to the defeated. Maybe it's because Hanako is taking her defeat so well. I deploy c4. No, bang! This is a fun game, but it took so long. Almost the whole period. Chess is too formulaic, especially at this level. How about some advanced rules? What? Advanced? Shizune is so excited. Yeah, like speed chess, or chess with additional pieces. Or maybe we can pair up and play tag team chess with 1 or 2 boards. Your choice. Come on. It'll be really fun. Really. Regular chess is so slow, too methodical. It's boring. I want to play chess that rewards quick thinking and daring. Any one of those things compared to chess. Any one of these, comparing chess to it is like comparing checkers to Go, or tic-tac-toe to shogi, right? Even laser chess might be more exciting. Pick something, pick! Like a deer in the headlights, many emotions spring up in me, watching Hanako's mind reel in front of the chessboard as if she's about to faint. The dominant one is amusement, but I move a little closer in case she might really top over. The board is set up again, but this time it's not even close. Hanako can't even make a move out of fear of her hand colliding with Shizune's. She's all over the board. It's an onslaught. Anywhere Hanako wants to put a piece, Shizune is already there. That's the fastest game I've seen in my life. Let's change the rules and play again. Best out of 6, like Kasparov in Deep Blue. Hanako excuses herself and flees from the room. Shizune, you gotta slow down a bit. Huh? Wait. Didn't she want to know where she can get a new ID? Excuse me? Hello? Come back, please. Wait. Strangely, the farther Misha goes away, the louder the sound of her voice seems to grow. I couldn't catch her. Shizune pats her on the shoulder reassuringly. There. You're pretty cheerful for someone who needed a pat on the shoulder. Hee-chan, do you hate games where luck is involved? A question out of nowhere, but it feels like an important one. If it wasn't, why would Shizune be looking at me, watching for my reaction? Even as I glance in her direction, she tries to pretend she isn't doing so, putting on a casual air by spinning a chess piece in her fingers. I don't like games that revolve around the luck of the draw, right? That was you, Hee-chan. Yeah, revolving around luck isn't the same as just having luck involved, though. I don't hate games for having an element of luck. Most games have an element of luck to them anyway. That's what keeps them interesting. I think a game where you know from the beginning how far you can go is boring. Then it's not a game, isn't it? Just going through motions. For a game where you have little to no control, I don't think I could get into something like that. I see. That girl isn't very good at chess. That's not very nice. It's fun hanging out. Gotta prep my Steam tomorrow. Alright. Have fun. Chess is a formulaic game, so it's a game that isn't suited for her. There was nothing formulaic about her. Someone who plays chess like that, looking only at the next piece, playing so shallowly, can't be called a serious chess player. Anyone who loves chess to the point where their eyes sparkle like that when they see a chessboard would be the kind of person who would study the game. If you study it just casually, you can learn to see at least 2 moves ahead, even against pros. Why would someone who loves the game so much, with that enthusiasm, know so little about it? Even less than someone with just a passing interest in it. You had one really good game the first time around, and then the second time you just added additional rules that she had to learn how to do on the fly with you, who was already into it and already knowing all that stuff. Shizune, you gotta slow down. Shizune puts down the piece in her hand. It's a rook. Her feelings are real, but her feelings for the game aren't real. Do you understand, Hichan? There is no luck in chess. It's very important to realize that. Luck in games is good because it gives everyone a chance. Just enough to matter, but not so much that skill is penalized. Chess is boring because it's not a game. To me, it seems like formulas. Shizune gets a pardon for that just because she's that cute. Hanako isn't the kind of person who would love something like that either. If you value something, you fight. Struggle is proof of preciousness? I think so, at least. Or you concede immediately, since it's so precious that it stops your thinking. The first is a passionate love. The second is a gentle love. I tried to fight her, chasing her around her king and trying to bait her. I didn't succeed though, because she stuck to only what would work. The trickiest moments were when she moved the fastest. That means she knew exactly how to deal with those situations. That means someone taught her. Do you understand, Hichan? Not really. If you love chess that much, but you can't give it your all, it's because you love the memories attached to it and not the game. It's too precious to her to see as a tool for true competition. Due to that, you can't become friends over it. Not without words. Well, your way of making friends isn't the kind of way that works on everyone, Shizune. The look on her face isn't one of sadness, at least as far as I can tell, but her words are very sad. Hey, let's play a game. Well, the board is still here. But the bell rings and cuts me off. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. Things have returned to normal. Well, I transferred in at a pretty unusual time, and I can hardly say that I had a normal first few weeks here. I guess it's more like things have calmed down and reached normality. I've been here longer than I thought. It's hard not to think about all the stuff I must have missed in the school before my arrival, or the things that might have happened in my old school since I've been gone. I wonder where these feelings come from, since I didn't leave much behind. I have a lot more here that I like. If that wasn't the case, then I wouldn't even bother with something like Student Council, or Shizune and Misha. I would be hard-pressed to care about anything, if this school was how I imagined it would be. But even this feeling of a daily routine makes me glad, in a way. I dread the amount of work that's going to hit me in Student Council after school, enough to want to consider stepping out on my duties, just this once. Yet, it's nice to feel like there's something I can do. Shizune drops a stack of attendance sheets next to me. Thanks again for helping out. Thanks again, Hichan. Sure Sure is a lot of work, though. I had to skip out on sign language class again. But now I'm at a level where I can understand most of Shizune and Misha's conversations with each other, so I'm not too bothered by it. Shizune still doesn't know that, though. I'm determined to keep things that way until I'm very sure of my skills. Perhaps it's a little childish of me. Yes, very childish, Isao. Just tell her. She would be so excited to know. Oh, oh you dumbass! Tanabata is in less than 5 days, but they're only going to start building the stalls tomorrow. Nichan, you might have to help out with building stalls again starting tomorrow. Why? What was the point of taking them apart then? That took days, didn't it? Yep, that's right. Even though Hichan wasn't there for it. A little childish, and doing that would mean the world to her. I know, right? She would be so we don't see how many people know sign language that actually talk to her. We don't know if she has, like, anyone else she can really communicate with. So just one more person would be, it would mean so much to her, dude. It wouldn't have made sense to bore you with cleanup duty after you enjoyed the festival so much. It wouldn't have made sense to bore you with the cleanup. Yeah. It would have ruined the fun. Oh, you added that. Besides. Hichan is lazy anyway. We would have tried to run away again. Shichan doesn't like playing Foxhound. That stings. Shizune covers her mouth with her hand and starts shaking. It takes me a second to realize she's laughing, mostly because she's doing so completely soundlessly. That's a little strange to see, but more or less the same good-spirited kind as Misha's, without being eardrum piercing. That's a good question though, Nichan. Huh? Stalls! It's a storage issue. The school doesn't have anywhere to store so many stalls, since each one is pretty large. They won't pay for outside storage either, so this is what they decided on. It's inefficient, but cheaper. Because the school doesn't have anywhere to store that many stalls, Hichan. Yeah, right. They do, but they don't want to pay. Sorry, Hichan. That's because of the previous generation. Ooh. The leadership decided that outside storage costs had risen too much, and the student council before us was too weak-willed to tell them that it's stupid to have to build and disassemble 60 stalls twice every year. Okay. Hichan, let's eat something. It feels like we've been working all day. We have, now that I think about it. I am hungry. I would have had lunch, but it was really crowded today for some reason. So I decided it wasn't worth the trouble. It was like that today because they had some especially interesting things for sale on the side. Like what? No, don't tell me. I guess it doesn't matter, since I won't be able to eat them anyway. Shizune looks oddly pleased with herself. I wonder what the context of that could be. I prepared ahead of time for this. Beaming with self-satisfaction, she produces a wide assortment of food from her bag. I can immediately see that 90% of it, or more, was taken from the lunchroom. There's a lot as well. Isn't there a limit on how much a person can buy? That means these gains are definitely ill-gotten. The veal cutlet bread is always sold out on the first minute of lunch. I'm impressed you managed to obtain one. Thank you. I reach for it quickly, but Shizune immediately makes a grab for it as well. Her hand goes slack for a second when it touches mine, but she immediately pushes forth with a redoubled effort. That blazing competitive spirit flashing dangerously in her eyes. Her fingers pry at mine, searching for an opening. I don't budge an inch, prepared to fight for this bread with my life. I might never have another chance to eat this. I am fully aware that if we continue like this, we could crush the bread, greatly reducing its edibility. Misha, tell her that unless she lets go, the bread is going to be crushed. Why can't you do it yourself? I'm startled she can so nonchalantly let slip that I could communicate with Shizune just fine if I wanted to. I almost considered the possibility it was intentional, but I'm sure she was just distracted trying to tear the wrapper off of a juice box straw. Isn't it obvious? I can't let go of the bread. I can't tell Shichan that then. She puts her palms up to the sky and shrugs, a wide grin on her face. Good job, Misha. Make Kasao pay for not just telling her. Why not? Because you have a stake in this, so I can't trust you. If Shichan wants to reply, she has to let go of the bread, and then you win. Who knows, who knows? Maybe that's what you want, Hichan. It wouldn't be fair, so I'm going to be neutral, like Switzerland. Switzerland? Do you know about Switzerland? Of course I do. It's neutral. They're neutral. Shizune stares at me cockily, the tip of her tongue sticking out slightly from between her teeth, as she continues to tug firmly at the veal cutlet between us. Suddenly, she lets go and holds out her hands up, palms facing outwards, the universal gesture of peace. You know what? This isn't fair, turns Swiss. This seems like a poor way to settle this, doesn't it? And we might crush the bread. She glares, and her passive expression quickly plummets into a disapproving grimace. Hichan, drop the bread. We are negotiating now. I drop the bread reluctantly. Misha's hand darts in from the side, her fingers drumming across the table as it makes its way over. Aha! Don't mind me. I don't even really like veal. I'll just take the sandwich right here. And something to drink, too. Misha, you. Picking them up cautiously, she immediately retreats. She has the right idea. I could just pick something else. There are lots of delicious things here. The chicken katsudon bread is also a popular seller, ranking high in taste and demand, but I've already eaten one before. You're so immature, Sao. This wouldn't be a problem if you would pick something else. The chicken katsudon bread is delicious. You're so immature, Hichan. Why don't you pick the chicken katsudon bread instead? It's delicious. But I have already eaten that. Hichan, why are you so obsessed with eating the veal cutlet bread? Specifically. It's hard to get normally. Rare things are more delicious. You are acting like a child. You're acting like a kid, Hichan. Why don't you eat the chicken bread? That's not important. Turning bright red, she smiles cunningly and continues. There is no reasoning with you, so it looks like there is only one way to settle this. We are going to play for it. That doesn't matter, we'll play for it instead. Somehow, I expected this. It's the logical conclusion. Shizune has been studying for a long time, pretty much continuously up until now. With our finals over, I guess that surplus energy has to go somewhere. Play what? The oldest game known to man, upon which the fate of nations has been known to rest. Rock, paper, scissors. We'll play rock, paper, scissors. Really? Really? That sounds so serious, Shichan. There is no humor in her expression. She is dead set on this. Okay. She draws her hand back and I mirror her. Go! We both put out rock, a draw. I had thought I had the perfect plan. Rock is unbeatable. Shizune frowns, deeply upset by this unexpected turn of events. Not as planned. Again. 2 papers. Damn. Again! We both throw out 2 rocks again, but a third hand is among us representing scissors. This looks like fun. Can I play? The difference in the way they talk is such a nice touch when he starts learning sign language. Yeah. It's also much better. It feels much better to read. or read out loud, rather. It's a duel, Shichan. Eh? Dueling conduct? You're right. I really don't know. The faster she signs, the harder it is to follow. In fact, it looks like even Misha is having trouble keeping up. What you talking about? One more time. We tie again. Every time. Shizune demands a rematch, eventually skipping that step altogether and throwing rock, paper, or scissors out with increasingly reckless abandon. Even playing completely randomly, we continue to tie. This is a mathematical long shot. Misha hovers above us, watching it all and laughing each time we draw. After 16 rounds, Shizune pushes her chair away from the table and stands up. Enough of this, Hichan. I see what I have been doing wrong. This will all be over in the next round, so brace yourself, okay? Okay? I have studied your thought processes, and I see how you play. I'm anticipating your next move and will combat it expertly. This is all news to me, as I can't remember what we were doing this over. Shizune grins confidently, a look of fearless daring on her face. Her cool eyes flash with pure competitive spirit as she draws her hand back, goading me wordlessly to do the same. Her form is amazing, like a professional bowler or something. Just throw a hand motion. 2 papers. Shizune's body immediately goes slack, and she rubs her temples with a look of exasperation on her face as she lets out a sigh so long it sounds like a tire deflating. I realize I've gotten a lot hungrier in the time we've been doing this. But we can just split it. I break the bread in half and offer one half of it to Shizune. She takes it. Thank you. She looks at the bread in her hand, studying it. But this feels hollow, somehow. Regardless of how she feels, she eats it. She still eats it. All of a sudden, I see Misha observing the scene out of the corner of my eye. Hichan, that was very romantic, I think. Oh, come on. She laughs and takes a bite of her second sandwich. We eat in silence for a while, Shizune and I managing to avoid any other contests, and then we go back to work. As I finish up the day's usual filing, I think to myself, this might be Shizune's way of trying to start this week on a high note. After all, tomorrow is when the real work will begin, and with her hands literally full building stalls, she won't be able to talk very much. It will likely be pretty dull and tiring, like it was the first time around. I'm appreciative of her effort in that case. It's nice to have days like this, as a way of enjoying yourself before the days ahead. I think that was her idea as well. I also remember that I still have to get rid of Kenji's package. The damn thing is bulky, and somehow I've never been able to track him down since I picked it up. After student council is adjourned for the day, I walk towards the vending machines to look for something to drink, parting from Shizune and Misha. It's a short trip, but even after just a few seconds, I start to get the feeling I'm not alone. A pair of hands cover my eyes. Guess who? Shizune? Wahaha, it's me, Hichan. Yeah, I know. Then why did you say it was Shichan? It's okay to be wrong sometimes, Hichan. You're too proud. Anyway, after student council, you don't usually have any plans, right? So you're just gonna go straight to your dorm? Where else would I go? Okay, that's great. That's great, Hichan. I wanted to talk to you today, so this works out perfectly. 2 high school students, alone after classes in a quiet, empty building. As the sun dyes the sky a romantic amber color, the cute girl says that she wants to talk. What a secretive and appealing situation. My imagination is buzzing. It's likely not going to be anywhere near as exciting as I'm making it out to be, but it's fun to play it up that way. The popping sound of my canned coffee opening destroys any chance of maintaining such a cheesy mood, sounding louder than I had ever thought imaginable. Amplified by the context of the situation, I sigh in disappointment and relief. So, what is it? Oh, actually, I'm a little behind in some of my classes, and if I don't catch up, it could be a problem. I can't put it off any longer. My teachers say that I have to really start taking things seriously, so I should listen, especially because this is the 3rd time. I'm sorry, Hichan. Why are you apologizing? I won't be able to help you or Shichan with student council for a few days. It'll only be for 2 or 3 days, really. I'll definitely try and come back as soon as possible, but I can't say that I'm happy about this. It's supposed to be getting really busy this week too, isn't it? That's some unfortunate timing. For a second, I want to ask if maybe Shizune could pull some strings to get her out of it. But Misha looks so genuinely apologetic about it, it would be pretty dickish of me to say something like that. Besides, if she says it's something that can't be put off any longer, I'm inclined to believe her, considering how surprisingly serious she can be with student council duties. Yeah, I see. That's okay. You managed with just Shizune and yourself last year, didn't you? So I'm sure I'll be able to as well. Don't worry about it. Really? Thank you, Hichan. Really? Yay, yay! I didn't know Hichan would take it so well. I thought you would be worried with how much there's going to be, so much work, with a ton of butter coming up and everything. Damn, she knows me oddly well. But Hichan is so composed. I'm glad. Yeah, you're sort of right. I was thinking about it. But it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to freak out over that. It's going to be a little annoying passing that pad back and forth to talk to Shizune, though. Why would you just talk? Oh my... Hisao, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to stuff you in a locker for this. Hichan, just tell Shishan that you can use sign language too. I don't understand why you won't. That's right, Misha. Tell him! Not yet. I can understand most things already, but I want to be really sure. Actually, I wouldn't mind. The secrecy is killing me too, and it would be nice to be able to talk to her in a real conversation. No, don't worry. I'm gonna have to tell her eventually. I want to. Actually, I'm trying to think of a good opportunity for it. That won't be a problem, Hichan. She doesn't know you well. Her twin tails are actually letting Misha read your mind. Damn. Why not? Well, because I kinda told Hichan that you could understand her. She was worried about the same thing, that you wouldn't be able to understand each other. So I was worried, but it worked out fine in the end after all. Thank you, Misha. Oh my god. I'm so glad you took the initiative. I'm so proud of you, Misha. I'm so glad you did that. I was gonna be pissed in like 2 seconds when I hit next, but Misha, just know that I appreciate it. Ha 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 ha. I lose it. Ah! Do you know how stupid I look now? I sat there for like half the damn day acting like I couldn't read sign language, and you were seriously telling me that she knew the whole time I could? She was probably thinking, this guy's a complete jackass, pretending he can't understand me. I just made a total ass of myself. How could you let me do this? Misha frowns, seeming lost for words on realizing that I'm taking this differently than she might have expected. She doesn't speak again until after seeing that I've calmed down. But, Hichan, I think this is definitely for the best. And you're right! She says without batting an eye, having waited patiently through my panic to say it. The cheerful delivery of her words makes it seem like she sliced out the time between when she dropped the bomb on me and now. It's pretty funny in a way. You have such a one-track mind, you know that? Yes! The damage is done. If Misha can believe that things will work out with such unflinching surety, then maybe it's worth giving a chance. She's right, because you're a dumbit. Misha being a goat wingman as usual. Yeah. And if things don't work out, I'll run as fast as I possibly can, and then you'll die. Did you forget about that? To try and make it up to me anyway, just in case, she offers to buy me another drink from the vending machine. It's a very small token of apology, but I suppose it's the thought that counts, and her thoughts are sincere. Plus, it's a free drink, so I accept. You dumbass. Proud of you for that one, Misha. I throw back my daily fistful of pills with a glass of water. After a solid 8 hours of sleep, I don't really know what I was so afraid of last night. As I chew a particularly large tablet in half, I continue to rationalize my worries away. Shizune knew I was taking sign language classes all day yesterday and didn't make a big deal out of it. She might be mute, but that doesn't mean she can't make her feelings known. No, in fact, it seems like she's all the more direct for it. She doesn't beat around the bush or hold back. She always makes herself clear unapologetically, so there can be no mistakes. So, if she wasn't mad then, it's unlikely she would be at all. On top of that, I didn't do anything wrong, anyway. I think she might be a little bit mad that you're hiding it from her, because, again, like we've said, she's probably just wanted to talk to you this whole time. Honestly, I hope she is a little mad at him for it. He deserves it. But as that fear of mine recedes, the thought of spending a couple days with Shizune without Misha takes its place. I hadn't really thought about it yesterday, but the idea becomes more and more intimidating. It's true, I can understand sign language pretty well, but I would definitely hesitate to say I can understand it above a basic level, and if she were to speed up her signing, which she does quite a bit, I don't think I could keep up. No, she knows you're an amateur. And if you don't understand, she would almost certainly have no problems repeating yourself. You're overthinking this again, buddy. Signing, too, is not my strong suit. Doing both at the same time like Misha can is still a distant dream. Hee-chan! What? Don't forget, you said you would help out with building stalls today. Behind the school after classes are over, okay? I know. Last time you helped out, Hee-chan, we really appreciated it. This time, it's even more important, so skipping out is unforgivable, okay? I want to ask why that is, but there isn't any opportunity to. Besides, Misha's behind in her classes, so it seems like a bad idea to distract her now that I know that. I can always ask her at lunch, which is what I end up doing. Besides, Hee-chan, a festival that celebrates a town is exactly what it sounds like. It's to celebrate your home and its history. Tanabata is different. It's for wishes and lovers. That definitely makes it more important, doesn't it? Yeah, naturally it would be. Is that really what it's for, though? Hee-chan, you have no sense of fun. She puffs out her cheeks in displeasure before blowing the air out like a deflating balloon. You have to appreciate things like that, even if it's just an excuse to eat interesting things and dress up in the end. Hell yeah! I'll be disappointed in you if you don't, okay? Before I can say anything, she turns to the side to inhale a croquette. After classes, I meet Shizune behind the school, where it seems she already set everything up sometime yesterday. She greets me with a short wave, and then, with a flourish of the hammer already in her hand, extends her arm towards the stalls behind her. Some of them already half completed, others still haphazard piles of board bundled together with string. As time passes, I realize the pills can only do so much. I still get way more tired than should be normal. Luckily, Shizune's back is to me, so I can afford to take a lot of breaks without having to worry about her wondering why. Oh, that's right, he's also still hiding his condition. When I stop and think about it, though, I start to feel pretty guilty for taking advantage of her inability to hear that my hammer stopped banging. It's a terrible thing to be happy about. Her work ethic is admirable. It's obvious that it bores her, and even annoys her, but she doesn't slacken her pace. When she gets tired of nailing a stall together with one arm, she switches to the other. Shizune. I feel like an idiot the second I say her name. I can't tell her what I think. There's a hammer in my hand as well, and in the end, I feel like I have to keep up with her. I can't slack off either, especially when it's just the two of us. There's no time to sign, no opportunity, not even for a compliment for a job well done. Even something as casual as that would require me to put my hammer down, get her attention, and then sign it to her. A simple gesture turned into something so needlessly complex, like a single footstep taken on a road that's longer than first imagined. I've known her long enough to know this, and still forgot it. The air is filled with the rhythmic knocking of nails being driven into wood. It's actually kind of nice after a while. To pass the monotony of the task at hand, I try to match my hammering to Shizune's, then alternate it to try and form a beat. Of course, she doesn't notice. It makes me wonder, does the lack of sound make this work seem more drawn out and boring to her? Is it strange, being unable to hear the result of her actions, even as she feels the vibrations through her fingers? Or, having no concept of sound, does it bother her at all? Distracted, I don't notice Shizune sneaking up on me until her head pops into view. Taking a break? Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's do that. You can understand sign language. That makes it more convenient for both of us, even though you hid it from me. That's right! Beat his ass! Ha ha ha. Why? Why what? Why did you decide to take sign language? Her eyes don't break off of mine for even a second. If she needs to read my response, her peripheral vision is good enough. Once she has something in her gaze, she doesn't look away. It's strange how piercing her eyes can be. Dark as a lake at night. Because I wanted to. It seemed like it would come in handy. And it did. Didn't it? Yes. Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. She said one... Oh, no, she said something after that. See, this kind of thing still comes up now and then. I wish Misha was here. She has work to make up for, doesn't she? That might be partly my fault. Misha doesn't need supplemental lessons. Her grades aren't the best, but she understands how the decisions she makes affects others. That puts her ahead of many people. Especially certain blondes. She doesn't forget things easily. Your sign language is very good. You're learning oddly fast. I've been taking classes for a while now, and it's kind of easy to pick up after a while. Through immersion or osmosis, that kind of thing. It's not too bad. And if I'm really stuck, Misha's there too. What about you? What about her? You idiot. You didn't think about that? You could have... I guess I spoke too soon. I didn't understand any of that. Time to backpedal. Well, yeah, it's actually not that easy. It's actually hard as hell, like trying to pick up broken glass. But I guess in some ways it's interesting as well, like an adventure. Well, no. Picking up broken glass is not an adventure. Sure it is, it's just as challenging. If you use a dustpan and a broom, it's not. I feel frustrated and sad. When I look up, I notice she has a can of soda in her hand. Where did you get that? I forget to sign it, but she understands anyway, following my eyes and produces another one from behind her back. She tosses it in my direction and I catch it with both hands. Is the blonde in Scotland at this point? I think she might be. We're a couple months in now, aren't we? And that's around when she went... I think that's around when she went to Scotland. Not that I think well... Shizune might know. Shizune might know that she's in Scotland. But that's besides the point. That's not important. I brought an extra one for you. She pauses to slide her fingernail into the tab of her can and pop it open before setting it aside for a moment. If you're going to try to help me so much, then I have to look out for you too. It's only natural. If you're going to learn sign language, that is something entirely different. I'm naturally going to be impressed. What separates the two is obligation. I'm very happy. She downs her drink in one go, stretches her arms behind her back, and jumps to her feet. Okay, back to work. And like that, it's over. Shizune returns to her work with the same energy as before. The lingering traces of a smile on her face, the only evidence that she had taken a break at all. As I do the same, I think that Misha was right in saying everything would work out for the best. Everything so far seems to be going in that direction. Misha swings by as it starts to get darker, looking just as tired as I feel, and Shizune decides to stop for today. As we cover the day's work and go our separate ways, I look at how fluidly they talk to each other, and how easily they laugh together as they walk to their dorm. It makes me appreciate Misha's skill at sign language more. I wonder if I'll ever reach that level, or if I even will have the time to. Do do do, 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 do do. Swallowed water wrong. I'm an idiot who can't even drink water right. Anyway, the first thing I do this morning is trip once again over Kenji's package as I get out of bed, finding myself diving headfirst into the floor before I'm even fully awake. I want to smack this thing with the first blunt object I can find, like I'm going for a home run, but I don't even have the energy for that this early in the morning, and it would likely damage whatever's inside, and that would be mean. Good. My Kill Ori 100 trillion is working. So wrong hole. God damn it. I slide it into the hallway. It sails along the smooth floor with little difficulty and stops with a soft and almost inaudible bump on colliding with Kenji's door. Immediately, a dozen locks unbolt in succession like a mounting symphony.
Who is it?
He says as he blindly steps forward into the hallway, somehow stepping over the box in a way that would be uncharacteristically, impressively graceful if it weren't for the fact I know it was wholly accidental. It's me. I got your mail. You're standing over it.
I know. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, whatever. So what's in it? He cringes, instantly turning very defensive and agitated.
It's nothing.
Come on, tell me, I'm curious. And I almost broke my neck falling over it. Before that, I had to carry this stupidly large box around with it blocking my vision, crossing roads with it in front of me. I think you can at least tell me what's inside in return.
It's secret stuff. I can't tell you because then it wouldn't be very secret and shit. It's nothing important.
Well, if it's nothing important, you can tell me.
If it's nothing important, why do you have to know?
Why is that wrong?
Why do you have to know?
Why can't I know?
Why are you answering my questions with questions?
Why won't you answer my first question?
Why won't you answer my last question?
I realize as our voices are getting higher and higher with each reply. Down the hall, a door pops open and someone sticks his head out quizzically to see what's going on. We must look like such tools, but I bet I'm the only one out of the two of us with enough shame to realize it. It's Prawn. It's definitely Prawn. Yeah, you're right. Fine, you can take it to your grave. I have to get ready for school anyway.
Damn. No, why are you so hasty to leave? Stick around a little. You want some coffee? It's been a while. I thought you were dead since you were so slow with the package delivery.
You're lucky I was willing to do package delivery in the first place, smartass.
Whoa, calm down, man. You are so confrontational. This is because of the student council thing. I hear you hang out with them now.
You heard it from me, when I told you.
Really? Yeah, well, whatever, man. The point is, they're terrible. You're the new guy, so of course you wouldn't know, but around here, she's a very divisive figure. Before you came here, she tried to institute a badge policy. It's a long story, so maybe you should sit down.
I look around for a chair, but can't find one as we are in a goddamn hallway. I raise a finger and start thinking that maybe I should tell him that, but he's already started talking. Not wanting to waste the arm movement, I look at my watch instead.
It would have been a real reign of terror if it had happened.
Wait, you're judging her based on something that didn't even happen?
Yes, anyway, her idea was like merit badges, but there would also be demerit badges.
What would those do?
I don't know, it never happened. It seemed bad though, so when I heard about it, I didn't leave my room for a few weeks.
So you heard there would be a massive change and hid in your room, trying to just ride the change out?
Nah, I decided to do something about it. I found the student council office after a while and marched right in with my list of demands and a bunch of people I grabbed in order to make myself look like I had supporters.
Wait, so not only did it not happen, but no one even cared? Kenji doesn't hear me, having gotten a good momentum going. Wrapped up in the energy of his own ranting, he starts to completely flip out and flail his arms, appearing to wildly throw gang signs.
I walked up to the desk and said to her, "Hey you fascist woman, what is this badge idea? How out of touch can you be here in your ivory tower, smugly looking down upon us like we're just a bunch of idiots? Who do you think you are? Your level of elitism is terrible. You're probably one of those outrageous rich people who have chauffeurs drive them around slums so they can point and laugh, and only drink pricey coffee beans shat out by the last living dinosaur and proved in a solid gold skull. And how could you? Go open up a history book. Don't you know that the bourgeoisie are always overthrown in a bloody revolution for shit like this? Stupid, you're an idiot.
He would definitely mispronounce that.
Sure, the revolutionaries usually end up turning everything into an utter clusterfuck later on, but a maniac is the only kind of person who would create a policy like this. It's like something I would create to make people suffer, only real, and you want to institutionalize it. Where will this desecration of our rights end? We are people, this is not justice. That's what I said. And then I added a cry of, they can take our things, but they'll never take our freedom! To appeal to the masses like that in that movie about the life of William Wallace, where they took his things but not his freedom and then killed him. But she just ignored me and didn't even look up from writing in her little paper shit. Maybe I overwhelmed her with my logic so badly that she just retreated into denial. Maybe she's just an asshole. Either way, she didn't reply and the future refused to change. To top it off, on the way back I realized I had lost my student ID somewhere. This is the story of my life, a constant and seemingly futile struggle, like trying to climb up a brick wall with sponges for hands.
Hey, you said nothing changed, but she didn't make everyone wear a bunch of stupid badges, so it did change.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, maybe they're not so bad then. Well, I guess that counts for something. If I can get Kenji to admit that maybe 2 women may not be so bad after all, I'll take it. Especially if it allows me to slip out of this conversation. I didn't realize how much time had gotten by. Okay, it's time. I need to take a water break after that. Oh god. How dare he say those things about Shizune and Misha. Bonk him. On it. Whew. Oh, I'm almost a little lightheaded after that. I try to run through my usual morning routine as quickly as possible. I check my watch again as I leave the dorms, and I see that I'm already late. Fortunately, the rest of the day goes by much more smoothly, and after classes are over, I head to meet with Shizune again. Behind the school, I catch her leaning against a completed stand with parts of it still flecked with bits of paper and tape, remnants of signs from the last time it was used. Absent-mindedly spinning a nail in her hand, she hasn't noticed me yet. The temptation to sneak up on her is unbearable. Years of watching foreign wildlife documentaries have prepared me for this. I'm downwind, conditions are favorable. However, the more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea. Do it, coward. If I get caught halfway, I'll look like an idiot, and if she doesn't know it's me, I could end up with an injury. Either way, I'll also look a little insensitive, so it would probably be best not to try anything funny, as disappointing as it is. Do it! Do it! Do it! I walk in front of her, startling her a little. Why so surprised? Did I catch you slacking off? No, I was taking a break. You don't look like you even broke a sweat. That's some break there, President. Shizune's eyes dart back and forth momentarily, and I think I've managed to fluster her. There's exasperation on her face and a little tension as well. But she can't back down. That would be unthinkable for her. Her fingers dance across each other impatiently. You're acting competitive today. Are you trying to get my blood boiling? Do you want to make it a contest? We'll race to see who can construct the most stalls by sundown. No, I'm teasing you. That's okay. It's not a real student council if you can't tease the student council president a little. You agree, don't you? That isn't in the student council charter, so it isn't true. There is no charter. At least, I don't think there is. The only thing they pledge loyalty to are a stack of takeout menus. Anyway, it's good that you're finally here, even if you could have been earlier. Pick up a hammer and we'll resume where we left off. As we work assembling stalls again, I slowly realize that it's really much less work than I would have expected. In fact, according to Shizune, we should be done by the end of the day with little luck. The last time I did something like this for them, it took her, Misha, and myself almost 4 days to do it. It can't just be my imagination. You know, this doesn't seem like that much work. Because it isn't. That answer leaves me wanting a little more. Knowing that it isn't the best, Shizune puts her hammer down to elaborate. It would be impossible for 2 people to do that much work in less than a week. The truth is, I don't dismantle half the stalls. I just store them someplace else. Actually, more like I hide them in plain sight. She waggles a finger mischievously. But that's a secret, and it's not proper to reveal the tricks of the trade. You're not a magician. Winking, she takes out 2 plastic containers from her bag, then puts them down on a nearby board before raising her hands slightly as if to say, "Ta-da! I made lunch today for both of us. You can have this one. The food shifted in my bag, and now some of it is mixed together." She hands me one of the containers. I open it. It looks delicious, if a little simple. She hands me a pair of chopsticks, as if she had just remembered to, and I eat what it looks like some grilled beef. It's very tasty. You don't like your food touching other food? I do not. You're very picky. Sometimes I mix my food on my own, but not always, and not everything. I don't like it when it's done for me. What is important is the choice. She points decisively to emphasize it, and then breaks her chopsticks apart to eat her own meal. As I continue to eat, I notice two things. The first is that almost everything I'm eating besides the rice is fried. Even the vegetables are fried. And there's so much meat. Does she eat this kind of stuff all the time? I wonder how she manages to stay so thin in spite of it. The second thing I notice is that I can't talk to her while eating. Talking with your mouth full is a little rude anyway, but with our hands holding our chopsticks and bowls, communication between us is impossible. Just like yesterday. Even though we're spending time together, even though I took the time to learn sign language, it feels like I'm talking to her less. Despite that, it also feels like I'm understanding her more. I hear the sound of something tapping against one of the stands and look up to see Lily standing off to my side, feeling her way around with her cane. Hi. I narrowly catch myself before I can say, "Didn't see you there." Oh, Hisao, is that you? I thought that I smelled something delicious cooking and wondered who it might be.
Do you have to beat her and adjust you with your acquired sign language in the end?
Yes, you just jutsu battle with Shizune in sign language, hell yeah. What is she saying? It's hard to move my hands in parallel to saying something completely different to Lily. This has to be why Misha just signs everything all the time. A bit sillier, but it seems like it would simplify things a lot.
Now that Lily is here, you can reconcile them with the three.
Shizune tenses her fingers delightedly at my translation, as if from hearing a joke. All of this food was cooked hours ago, but for someone as slow as yourself, who can't even turn in a piece of paper without being a week late, I guess your perception of time would have been a little different. That's not very nice. A frown crosses Lily's face in response to our reply. Let me try that one again, shall we? A frown crosses Lily's face in response to a reply to something she didn't hear. Sorry, I'm just having a late lunch here. The student council president cooked everything. Is the student council president here right now? She's right here. I apologize, I didn't notice. Normally, her level of presence is much higher. I was not aware that the student council serves lunch outdoors. Why wasn't I invited? I think that is good to have enough free time to be able to do things like this, however. What is she saying?
That's right, 2 girls, 1 Hisao.
If I were to invite you anywhere, you would just show up late. But Shizune's words are outside of Lily's perception. A fact that is, by the second, increasingly maddening to her. Translate for me completely, please. What polite phrasing. It's a shame she's essentially asking me to just let her fully release the dogs of war. Still, I can't just do nothing. The feeling of being unable to even respond and be understood is so isolating. She would never forgive me. I'll just try to soften her words a little. Well, actually, this was all cooked a while ago. Really? That's nice. Turn over here. It's very disrespectful to not look at the person you're speaking to. That isn't the way a prim and proper lady should conduct herself. What do you mean, turn over here? She can't hear you. Or not, can't hear you. She can't see you. She can't see you. She doesn't know where to look. Half of what I'm saying is really what Shizune is saying. She doesn't like it when people don't look in her direction when she's trying to make a point. She's, to the right of my voice. Although in this case, I can understand why Lily wouldn't. This is a very awkward situation, and it's daunting being the sole conduit for dialogue between the two of them. Truthfully, I had forgotten what happened the last time they butted heads like this. It's clear Shizune remembers, and Lily is being pretty hostile herself in her own way. I'm sorry, such formalities slipped my mind completely. I forgot that the student council president is the type of person who would demand such respect and adherence to the rules at all times. I suppose student government requires you to keep a tight ship. Then again, she certainly has time for her own fun as well, so that must not be completely true. Student council is not a dictatorship, nor a zero-sum game. Shizune points at Lily with her finger, out like the barrel of a gun, and snaps her fingers explosively, causing her to flinch and become visibly upset. Is that so? Then that makes it more impressive that you have been a part of it for so long, playing it as though it were one. I admire the fact that you are so tenacious to manage it all. You must be so responsible as well. Not as much as I would like to be. You can't complain about yourself, though, can you? You're very responsible. Actions like requesting a deadline to be extended and then running all the way through to the next deadline. That's the very model of responsibility. Shizune is happy to hear that, but apparently you're pretty responsible yourself, she says. Does she really? No. More or less. Lily doesn't seem very happy. We're not holding a cookout. We're just taking a little lunch break. We're actually out here building stalls for the festival. You wouldn't know, since you never go outside. Did you run out of tea? Are you going into town? Shopping? No, as I said before, I was just passing by. In case you did not hear, I would hate to interrupt the student council president. You're not doing anything now, but you must both be very busy. In any case, Isao, I'm sure that the student council president will be able to find or make work for the both of you if he needs to. I'll devour you. Yeah, very busy. Devour is a hard word. I'm pleased that I can read it. This isn't time to celebrate, though. Not over that. Instead, it looks like they might stop squabbling. I would drink to that. Have a nice day, Hisao. Goodbye, student council president. Thanks. You too. Stay classy. As soon as Lily leaves, Shizune dives into the remains of her lunch as quickly as possible, as if each bite she shovels away is a means to forgetting any of this ever happened. When she is done, she heads right back to hammering with the same mindset. It's good that she's working off her frustration, but now it doesn't look like she has any mood to talk anymore. About 2 hours later, she stops, having mowed through the rest of the stalls non-stop in that time. It still feels hard to approach her, and I think about how easily a conversation can die. After it took so long to be able to get her alone and speak to her directly, it almost hurts. Your translation was good. Really? First class. She punctuates it with a thumbs up. For your level. There aren't many deaf people in the school, and sign language classes have been on the edge of getting cut for a while now. I'm sure you don't have many classmates, am I right? If you're only learning sign language now, your speed is going to be limited. That is why interest in it wanes, because it takes more effort than normal just to communicate. I imagine it's the same with all languages. In such a situation, conversations in sign language are less than what they would inherently be to start with. I don't understand that word. Less what? Spontaneous. Misha's the only person who can really capture it. Yeah, that's definitely true. Her expression changes for a second, and changes quickly back to digest. Sorry, let me try that again. Her expression changes for a second, and changes back too quickly to digest. But I get the feeling that this isn't meant to be pursued. What I really want to know about is, why do you and Lily fight so much? Tensing a little and visibly frowning, Shizune tenses her fingers and overlays them repeatedly as if shoveling an invisible deck of cards, and I think that's a good sign that I need to take a quick water break. Oh, that's better. 2 fights that you know of aren't worth calling so much. If you had been here last year, you could say that. I heard it was a rough year.
Spontaneous fish time.
Something about how you try to institute a badge policy? Haha, surprised? Well, I want to hear more about that later, definitely. But you don't like Lily very much, do you? Don't dodge my question. I'm not dodging anything. She was part of the student council until last year. We didn't get along very well. She wanted to keep doing things like the old student council did. The old student council was just so ineffectual. It was stupid and insulting. I wanted to do more, and we had a fight. A lot of fights. She couldn't do anything on time. Then, she said that what I wanted to do was meaningless. Just extra busy work. Does this look like meaningless busy work to you? Shizune gestures around us. I mean, what's really meaningless is a student council that doesn't do anything. Weak, lazy, and boring. Especially boring. I couldn't get excited over sitting in a room with nothing to do. That's just a waste of time. Why would I even be there? It didn't get my blood flowing. Arguing with her does that. If she could have been that motivated before, she wouldn't have to put so much dedication into being my enemy. But if she knows that much spirit, but if she shows that much spirit, it's not a complete loss. At least it's something. It's still exciting. I see. And what about the bachelling? She laughs, covering her mouth with her hand as if to hide it. Her laughter is the only thing she regularly tries to hide. That was just a joke. Having a little fun sometimes is important too. I don't think it was just a joke. The next day, I end up having to hunt around a bit at the start of lunch when I find that my usual vending machine near the dormitory buildings is sold out of my usual favorite canned coffee. The detour takes longer than I expected. Things have been so hectic lately that it takes some time for me to register why something smells different as I walk through the school gardens back to the cafeteria. The grass has been freshly mowed. The realization makes me pause and watch for a bit. The odd group of students chatting or playing around on the grass and a couple of teachers conversing on the path ahead make for a very idyllic scene. Unfortunately, a feeling of imminent dread starts creeping up on me after a while. The feeling that I'm not alone.
Hi, hey, Sal, is that you?
Yep, it's me. I guess I should be happy it's him and not, say, a slasher. Kenji begins talking as if he's having a conversation with someone other than me.
Knew it. That haircut is unmistakable. No normal person would have a haircut like that.
Unconsciously, I start touching the back of my head. Once I realize what I'm doing, I feel insulted, yet too surprised to even get indignant about it. Yeah, what are you doing here?
Measuring the temperature. Winter will come soon. It will be too cold for women to go out and have their
What?
Their Sex in the City-style power lunches, followed by obstructive human wave formation walks in crowded urban areas. When this happens, man will be able to walk the streets unfettered once again and reclaim what is his heritage.
Oh, too many Kenji sessions today. Oh my god, my throat.
In order to prepare for that day, I've been eating nothing but pizzas for the past week to store energy.
Okay. That's what bears do. Is it time for Kenji X's Sao?
So, there is much we can learn from the bear.
Kenji nods, emphatically agreeing with himself.
Okay, so check this shit out. I was in town today buying milk. They had a new clerk, some hipster girl with a baseball cap with 2 hockey sticks on it. I'll call her hipster hockey baseball hat girl.
He said hat.
I noticed the milk didn't have a price tag, so I told her to get over there and label that milk for future generations.
He was in town today? He must have cut his morning classes. I want to scold him, but his verbal torrent prevents me from getting a word in.
She told me not to bother her because she was sick. Sick? Sick? We live in a society.
Oh, fuck. We live in a society.
Here, you can't just opt out of human interaction because you're sick. Do you know how much effort it takes me to even get up in the morning? I still do, though. And I got up that morning to go down there and buy milk, not to have my vital questions just brushed aside by some hipster doofus college girl who wears a hockey baseball cap to work indoors.
Ugh, my throat.
Anyway, I was just trying to uphold the integrity of her products. The milk carton without a price tag? When I see something like that, it just leads to questions. Important questions. It's her job to answer them, damn it. That's the problem with women. They have no sense of duty. I get diarrhea. I get diarrhea a lot, but you don't see me complaining about it.
Maybe you should fix your fucking, diet.
I soldier on and do what I have to do anyway, Because that's what being a man is all about. Even if you have diarrhea, you keep going for the dream of a better tomorrow.
You know, frequent diarrhea is bad. Maybe you should stop drinking so much milk.
I can't do that. It's what allows me to maintain my awesome strength. And in this world, a man's strength is the only thing that can't be browbeaten out of him by an increasingly pussy-whipped society. That's why I walk around leaving open jars of olives everywhere. Sometimes just to show that I can.
Do you refrigerate after opening?
What? Man, I don't know. That's not important.
You have to refrigerate after opening. Even elementary school kids know that.
I can't get the jar open in the first place, so it doesn't matter.
Ah, that's true.
I'm a genius.
He self-assuredly rubs his chin, which is something I imagine scientists did, until I met Muto and was tremendously let down.
He has to learn to let it flow.
Shut up.
Anyway, I can't go to that store again since it's clearly been compromised by bitches. Unless I disguise myself. Maybe change to a different pair of glasses.
Leaving open jars of olives around sounds like something a serial killer from an old detective movie would do. Yeah. Yeah, he does fit that vibe, doesn't he? Worst disguise ever.
Pfft, it's been working flawlessly all these years. I don't even need glasses to see. They're for effect. Also, protect my identity. I'm like Superman.
Worst disguise ever.
I'm telling you, when people see my school ID, they can't even recognize me.
Really? Let me see.
Can't do that. I can't go around showing my ID to everyone. It was made long ago, in a different time. I had hippie hair.
While I'm trying to imagine that, Kenji takes his glasses off. He squints as soon as they're off his face, which makes him look even more tired than he already does. He was right. He does look very different. Kind of like he hasn't slept in years. Not different enough for it to be a good disguise, though. You need more sleep.
Nah.
You look like you need it.
No way. These are just the eyes of a man who has seen things. A shaman's eyes. Terrible things that you can't imagine. Like when I made a ship in a bottle and my mom sat on it. There was blood and shreds of floral print everywhere. That's what life experience is.
Kenji doesn't seem very horrified, even though I think this is actually the first thing he told me about himself that could have been legitimately traumatic. He's also talking about 30 degrees to my left, so I guess his blindness is real. I wave a hand in front of him anyway, to little effect.
Man, I hope you realize I'm just joking.
I laugh, pretending that I did. Somehow, looking him in the eyes is more difficult than usual.
Want some trivia? People with small eyes wear big glasses.
I read that somewhere. It's because it makes your eyes look less beady.
Really? I didn't know that.
He puts his glasses back on, and I feel oddly relieved for a moment until I remember that I still have to deal with him, glasses or not.
Well, anyway, this artist girl wanted to paint my portrait once, I think. I had to talk to her like 5 times before she started making sense.
Must have been Rin, I suppose. What'd she look like?
I don't know. A woman with sandals?
I was hoping he'd say something more specific, like, she had no arms. Rin does wear sandals, but I feel like the chance of there being another free-spirited female art student wearing sandals besides her is reasonably high.
I was thinking, sure, someday after I burn all documentation that I exist, it might be okay to leave a portrait behind, so that people can look at it and remember the savior of mankind. They'll need it to model the statue.
Poor Rin really had to deal with all of that Kenji aura, yeah.
Then I thought about it some more and had to turn her down. It was tempting, but she wanted it for some school thing. It would be displayed. People would ask who I was, only I haven't saved society yet, so it would be pointless. And then if someone recognized me, I'd have to explain myself. That's already a chain of events I don't want to deal with. I don't want to get mixed up in some weird situation. Shit like that always happens. Sticking out is a surefire way to get me put on a list. That's why I make such a careful effort to blend in with people in my daily life, until I can make my move. Ah! Ah!
Oh wait, no, I just went back. Oh, phew. I accidentally hit the scroll wheel. Sure. What list?
There are many lists. So what are you doing here anyway?
Nothing. I kinda just got here by accident.
Happens to me all the time. Well, hope that works out for you. I think I'm gonna go back to my dorm room. I need to set my TV to record my shows.
You have TV?
Yes, you should come over sometime. We can watch the game in high definition.
Wait, the game? You watch sports? What? Before I can ask him what he's talking about, he's gone. He left like he came, with zero respect towards other people. Kind of amazing. Now that Kenji is gone, I resume looking aimlessly at the school gardens in their summer splendor. It's no use. He ruined them for me. When I get back to the cafeteria, exhausted but alive, I think of eating lunch with Shizune again, but find her sitting at a table with Misha already. If it were anyone else, I would think how they were too far away for me to hear them. This is Shizune and Misha, however. If I wanted to, I could eavesdrop on the conversation easily. What a dirty thing to think about. But it's there. I don't want to, though. They must have a lot of catching up to do, even if it's only been a few days. I'm inclined to just leave them alone so they can do just that. Kenji's incredibly talkative this run, I've noticed. We even got a CG for him. However, the second they see me, they wave me over. Hi, Hee-chan. Hearing her voice again, even after such a short time apart, is jarring, and I wince. These past few days, I had forgotten that communication with Shizune is almost entirely silent. In concentrating on getting it right, I had tuned out even ambient noise. Well, I'll get used to it again. I'm glad she's back. I'm done making up all my work just in time. I won't have to miss the festival. Wahaha! If they really try to enforce that, I would pull you out on student council business. If they really try to enforce that, you would pull me out on student council business? That's abuse of power. You know what isn't Hee-chan? Chi-chan says that if there were only 2 student council members overseeing the festival, it would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. It has to be at least 3. It's for the good of everyone. It's perfectly reasonable. It's necessary. Shizune leans across the table a bit as Misha delivers her slightly disturbing, militaristic justification in a childish, bubbly up-and-down tone. Shizune looks so happy, though, tenting her fingers and trying to hold back a laugh as Misha pouts more seriously on her behalf. If you say so. I'm actually happy right now that we can talk so easily to each other, all 3 of us. In the beginning, I thought that I might have found myself in a bad situation. I was sure that Shizune would hate getting saddled with being tour guide for the new guy. I didn't want to be that kind of burden either. It would be awkward even if she weren't deaf and mute too. Just now, she said that we would all have to be at the festival, the whole student council. I don't think that the student council has any real jurisdiction over Tanabata. It's only Shizune's way of saying that she wants us to spend it together. It's nice to have friends. It's a simple thought, but one that makes me genuinely happy, that we could slip into being such with so much ease. Despite the roundabout way in which she said it, I'm glad that Shizune thinks it strongly enough to express it at all. Why did you wait until we waved you over to come sit with us? A question out of nowhere. Shizune's eyes are expectant as Misha repeats her message. I feel like teasing her. You want me to sit with you that badly? We're in the student council. We should sit together as much as possible. It's logic. Anyone would jump at the chance to sit with 2 cute girls anyway. Good answer, good response, Shizune. She pauses in case I might say something like, "You're not that cute," and instantly lock myself into an obvious no-win situation. When I don't take the bait, Shizune becomes more energetic and continues. You're abnormal. Well, I didn't expect her to end it like that. You're too quick to call other people abnormal. So arrogant. You're too quick to call other people arrogant. That makes you arrogant, and arrogance is also abnormal. You're double abnormal. It doesn't work that way. It's a sliding scale. Leaning on her arm, Misha closes her eyes and lets out a low, slow laugh like a chuckle. Don't laugh. Don't laugh in this kind of situation. I notice that Misha signs everything I say to Shizune anyway, even though I'm signing myself. This is redundant, but it's an unconscious action for Misha. On the other hand, I can't stop. If I let myself take it easy and sign less just because Misha is back, then what was all this for? I don't want to risk losing familiarity with how to sign either. My hands are pretty slow to speak on my behalf as it is. Hichan, you and Shishan talk to each other much more now, back and forth. It's really funny too, like an old married couple, right? Right? Wingman Misha coming through again. What a loaded comment, in so many ways. Although, because it's Misha, it can't have been on purpose. That's not a compliment. Shizune doesn't react to Misha trying to pair the two of us up. Maybe she didn't see it. Sometimes it does happen, I've noticed. I still wonder if it's really that simple, and why I care so much. But I don't want to think about it too hard. I want to leave. I keep thinking that I'm hogging Misha's time with Shizune, and it could be that Misha cut in just now on purpose, feeling that way too. I doubt that either of them will let me leave, though. In some ways, they're too nice. Anyway, Shizune, if you really want to know, I didn't want to sit here because I didn't want to intrude. I thought that because of Misha being away for supplementary lessons or whatever, that you two would have a lot to talk about, and I should just leave you alone to catch up. That's why I thought I would just hang back. Hey, Sao, you idiot, you're their friend too. She wouldn't want to talk to you and catch up with you as well, you dumbass. Don't worry, Misha, I'm not trying to monopolize Shizune. Hichan, it's not like that. You're so considerate, Hichan. Shishan is sorry and apologizes. I don't really think it's worth apologizing over, so don't worry about it. Hey, don't you both think that since Misha is back, we should go celebrate somehow? I think so. Hichan, usually having to make up work isn't something to celebrate over. No, it's a good idea. The timing is perfect, and Shizune said that the student council should have a little fun too sometimes. You've probably heard that too, right, Misha? It should be fine. Actually, wait a second. Didn't you have to make up work because you were missing so many classes to begin with? So, skipping out to celebrate would be kind of stupid? Maybe the timing isn't perfect, like I said. But we could go after school. Where should we go? Misha speaks Shizune's question to her aloud before she even stops to think it over, both of them completely ignoring me. Hey, listen to me, two-man short-sighted student council team. Haha, Hichan, you're part of this team too. Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah, you are, Hichan. So forgetful and troublesome. I feel sorry for the girl who falls in love with you. Aw, you don't have to feel so bad about yourself that way. So, where do you think we should go? I'm laughing in spite of myself, wanting to point out how Misha seems so enthusiastic now, when she was the one who was most apprehensive about it just a few seconds ago. For whatever reason, I can't bring myself to do it. This is okay too. After a short discussion on where to go, it seems like the only place all three of us know and are willing to travel to is the Shanghai. A tea house doesn't look like a bad place to celebrate, especially because I'm sure they sell cake there, and cake is the most celebratory food. I haven't seen Yuko in a while either, and neither have the girls. For all these reasons, plus the fact that it's so close, I end up standing in front of this little tea shop with Shizune and Misha before I know it. Welcome. It's been a while since I heard Yuko's voice, so I'm surprised all over again by the energy she puts into her greetings. Kind of like an extremely nervous Misha. Hi, but you don't have to do that all the time if it's just us. Yes, I do. But... Okay, if you say so, Yuko. I take this moment to glance around the tea house and notice that it is as empty as ever. It's lunchtime, essentially the peak hour for an establishment of this type, and yet it's as barren as ever. I don't understand. There has to be a reason for this. Money laundering. Shizune gently taps my arm to get my attention. What do you want to get? Yuko looks a little agitated after Misha automatically relays the question. No, I'm supposed to ask that. Is there anything I can do for you? Just some coffee for now, I guess. Thanks. The dedication Yuko has towards her waitressing duties is sort of admirable. So is the speed at which she whisks slices of cake and our drinks to our table when we order. Then again, we're the only customers here. Who knows what it would be like with a full house? Shizune and Misha immediately dig into their cakes with gusto, probably because they can't talk with utensils in their hands. The whole point of sharing a meal with friends like this is being able to talk over it, after all. It makes sense that it would be the same with them. I'm barely halfway through my cake when I hear their forks clinking as they set them down on their empty plates. It's not healthy to inhale your food. Haha, Hichan sounds like an old man. I cringe and instantly feel like I've been punched. Are you gonna wear a yukata tomorrow, Hichan? No, I don't even have one. Well, even if I did, I'm not the kind of guy who does stuff like that. What about you? Are you two gonna dress up? Of course. What do you mean, of course? You didn't dress up last time. One time is not a trend. It's a completely different situation anyway. Aside from not being Tanabata, the festival was on school grounds. Students should wear their uniform on school grounds. Clearly a joke, but her delivery isn't any different from the usual. That isn't normal, but her sense of humor never was, and I'm used to it. I guess her way of saying outrageous things seriously is a little better than if she were to say serious things outrageously. What's more troubling in any case is that I've started to associate a voice with her signing, and it's clashing with how Misha says out loud everything Shizune signs anyway. I feel disoriented. I'll dress up this time. I'll dress up this time. You'll see, Hichan. Not just Hichan, but me too. Maybe I'll change my hairstyle too. No, don't do that. No, keep the drill tails. Don't do that. I can't really imagine you looking differently. Shizune wags a finger and smiles. Such a quick and firm disapproval. What if I were to change my hairstyle? You don't have that much hair. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Maybe you should grow your hair out and make it look like drills. The twin drills is peak. That's what I'm saying! She looks unamused. Luckily, I see Yuko making her way over, likely to clear out our plates and ask if we need anything from her. Yuko, are you doing anything for Tanabata? Huh? It's like she was practicing how to most smoothly ask if I needed a refill of coffee while walking over, but she has no idea what to do, having been asked the question first. I feel bad. Yes, I'm working. Yuko, they make you work on holidays? Aw. Well, we have the most business on holidays, and sometimes tourists. I don't mind. I have to do my best. I understand completely. So admirable. Shizune nods her head in solidarity, feeling a kind of kinship with Yuko through their shared determination to be the best. Although for her, it's a matter of pride, whereas Yuko might just feel that she really needs this job, and maybe a raise. The most business, huh? So, how many people on average during a holiday? Well... Oh no. Yuko walks away and starts cleaning a cup of swizzle sticks. That isn't polite. This is not what a proper waitress should do. Nevertheless, I sort of got my answer anyway. Clearly, business is scarce at best. I start to wonder again how the Shanghai remains open at all. Maybe this eclectic style of tea house is a trend that was outrageously successful before I got here, but isn't anymore. And they're just keeping it like this while they retool. Maybe the owner is rich and is involved in some sort of bet with someone else, or a crazy scheme to see who can lose the most money. Maybe I just conveniently miss mobs of customers by seconds each visit. Or maybe this place is just a front for arms dealers. Since there's no one else here, why don't you sit down with us? We can talk about economic and feasibility. But Yuko doesn't take the bait, shaking her head from side to side emphatically. I've never really celebrated Tanabata before, or dressed up for anything like this. I'll finally be able to wear my yukata. Yay, yay! What do you mean, never? What about last year? Last year, Shichan, me, and the 3-2 class rep ran a stall for the festival. It was a soba stall, I think. Yeah, it was. Yep. The blind class rep of 3-2 must be Lily. I'm surprised they were able to work together on anything. But Misha would likely be the best possible buffer for that kind of thing, with how innocent she is. Shi-chan cooked, and Lily took the orders, and I translated for them. Shi-chan kept saying, "It's so inefficient. Misha, why do you have to be the middleman? As in, why is there a middleman in the first place? Huh? It would be fine if I did the cooking and you took orders. It doesn't make sense at all." But I think everyone had fun in the end, right, Shi-chan? Shizune adjusts her glasses grudgingly, causing Misha to break into laughter. It was the old student council's idea, that's why. So what was the last student council like then? Shizune finally decides to step in again, or it's more like she can't stop herself. Terrible. That was blunt. She ends with a chopping motion, as if passing judgment on them. I hope she's going to elaborate a little. At universities and some private schools, student councils have control over millions of yen to budget and distribute as needed. Wow, really? Millions? Ah, right. And they are much more involved in student activities too, Hee-chan. From Misha's tone, it seems like this is newer to her than it is to me. This school's student council was like a joke in comparison. Don't give people positions of power if they don't have any power at all. What's the point? So, I wanted us to have more and more work. It was hard to convince the school and the other student council members to allow it, actually. A lot of the work you've seen us do really is work that I took on, which is what Lily was talking about. If it wasn't for Shi-chan, the student council would just file attendance reports day in and day out. Would you prefer that, Hee-chan? Of course, Hee-chan. As soon as the workload started going up, most of the student council stopped coming. Shizune's fingers fold over each other carefully. It looks like she wants to add something, but she can't bring herself to. Like she said, sign language gives you a little more time to think about what you say. I guess she feels like she can't talk about this. That was then, and this is now. Let's just have fun tomorrow. That is what she finally settles for. Yeah. Okay, then student council is adjourned for today. It has to be adjourned excitingly because today was a good day. School seems to be over by the time we leave the tea house, as I can see students coming down from the school as we walk up the road towards it. A couple people wearing our uniform look at Shizune as she walks by, and I wonder if they recognize her as the student council president, or if their eyes are just being drawn to Misha's head. It's impossible not to overhear the chatter in the air, and the topic is more often than not plans for Tanabata. I wonder how many of them will be using or going to the stalls that I reassembled. Makes me feel a little pride, an emotion I've never felt doing something for school. Maybe this is how Shizune feels as well. I almost want to ask, but it seems stupid to want to do so. So, I just hold on to the thought as the three of us walk onto campus and then separate. Shizune to the student council room, and Misha and me to our dorms. It isn't until they're gone that I realize I didn't ask when and where they wanted to meet up tomorrow. Alrighty then. I think that's a good day to stop right before the festival, so we can start with that next time. That sounds like fun. It'll probably be like the end of Act 2 as well. So next time it will be an Act 2 and an Act 3 stream, which should be fine. Well, that was fun. Yes, let's end on a bet. Of course you would say that. Also, hi Terbs. I'm glad you came here to ring a bell at me, but unfortunately you catch the tail end of stream. Sorry about that. I had a lot of fun today. This was a good stream. This was a good time. Learned a lot more about Shizune. I'm starting to piece her together in my mind so I can better know what options to take later on. I think this will be a fun one. I think there is definitely room for me to mess up though and get a bad ending here. Usually goes like that, been chasing my puppy around the backyard. Hell yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah. This was good. I like this. Can't wait to play again next week. I'd say I'd just do multiple streams of this a week, but my throat would die. Especially, oh god, I'm gonna do Kenji's route at some point. Kenji's route is probably literally going to kill me. Death by Kenji. Goddamn. Or at least I'm gonna lose my voice. I don't know. We'll do it, we'll do it. We'll do it for Kenji. Absolutely. But tomorrow we got some more Girlfoot, which will involve a little less talking. And then that might be it for the week. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, because that reminds me, I gotta check in and see if how's Toshi's doing. But anyway, Kenji is using Kill Ori, a really big number. It's super effective. Oh no, I'm dying. I'm dying. Oh no, I have to end stream. Remember to stop in next Monday for the KMU for your points. If I can even get them to you, because I'm dead. Going to the ending screen now.